Here we go.
You want to be like? Sensitivity equals fucking poverty.
Insensitive Culture, the podcast. Check it out, homie.
Everyone, welcome to episode 171 of Insensitive Culture. As always, you know me.
What's up, what?
On the other end, we have...
And that fool Blazer, what, Ramon?
On the other end, as usual, is... Man, you know who we are.
Insensitive Culture, the podcast. Make sure you check it out, homie.
Make sure you check it out, homie.
You're checking it out. You check it out every week. And we appreciate you for it. What's good, fellas? How y'all feeling? How y'all showing up?
Good,
we
good.
day drinking out here on the West Coast, son.
Oh, facts.
Oh, it's early.
Facts. I needed a drink after, I mean, it wasn't crazy work day or anything like that, but, it's always good to get out of work.
Facts.
Crack a brewski, talk with the homies.
Unwind.
That's pretty much what we're experiencing right now. I love it. It's great.
Facts.
And we're back to, at least for this episode, we're back to recording at a decent time. We're not heading home at midnight here on the East Coast.
Accommodating for our West Coasters.
Sure.
Hey, I was accommodating for you guys, actually. I don't like you guys having to leave at midnight.
I mean, now you're accommodating for us, we appreciate it. We appreciate when we can get out a little bit earlier.
That's facts. That's facts.
We'll
try and wrap it up by midnight East Coast time, though. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're nearing that. We'll probably be 11ish now. So
we're encroaching.
We still have another 4 hours of recording, and then after editing, we'll whittle it down to a good 2.5. Right, Jonni?
Sure.
Oof.
Oh man, that's
if we're lucky.
If we're lucky. But nah, man, we're today was a good day. Chilling. I'm pretty amped up for this episode. No real reason why. I just feel good and amped up for it. So, which is always a good thing because sometimes you drag and then you gotta muster up that strength to be like, "Welcome to the show, everyone."
Welcome to Insensitive Culture.
Welcome to Insensitive Culture. As always, walk. So I'm feeling good.
I like that.
You guys do anything interesting this past weekend?
I went to the mall. That was like the highlight of the weekend.
I saw The Flash. Caught The Flash finally.
Nice.
I'm sure we'll chat about that a little bit later. But yeah, that was the highlight of my weekend as well. Just going to the movie theater, getting a little public interaction.
Nice. Everybody's going out in public.
I'll recede to my hole for the next few weeks or so.
Nice.
Smart.
Everybody's out in public. I didn't really do too much. We had like this little wedding thing. It was an event. My girl's family. She lives out in New York City. They already got married, like some remote location, but did like a local thing for her family to come through, celebrate. That's what we went to.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Next time I probably won't bring my kids because the entire time I'm just watching my kids. Yeah, watching my kids and open bar. So everybody else has their kids, but
It's tough.
They're not watching their kids. So then you just end up like, since I'm on top of my kids, I end up having to babysit other people's kids too.
Oh, no.
To an extent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very limited
I'm not paying.
extent.
I'm paying attention to what my kids are doing, and of course, I'm not gonna let any kid be in danger. I'll be like, "Yo,
Sure.
don't do that." But
no physical harm. As long as nobody's in physical harm, do whatever the fuck y'all want to do.
I'm not correcting other people's kids. That's not my job. I got my kids. I'm gonna tell them, "Yo, don't do that. Stop running." Little things like that. But I just like to make sure they're not. And it's mainly just a baby. You know what I mean? Because Xander's turning 7. He should know, like, unless he's like really getting out of pocket. So like once
know better.
It was after dessert. Once dessert came out and they were,
Sugar hits, yeah.
they had their little mocktails, and then they had like some desserts and stuff. Then he started tripping a little bit. That's why I'm like, yo, okay, we need to wrap this up.
Yep.
Like we need to go.
Reel it back in. Sometimes they're getting tired. Pointing to the watch.
Word. Yeah. No, we gotta go.
That makes the fact that you said that makes me think. Like I've been, you hop on Facebook every now and then, and recently, I'll jump on Facebook and I'll see like all kinds of weddings and parties and shit that have been going on, back in New York, and I'm just super, super thankful that I'm so far away.
Yeah,
from any
you don't
of
get
those.
invited to
I don't have to go to any. Even if they did, like I have a very valid excuse to not show up at anybody's anything for the most part. I mean, unless they're relatively close, like I get to miss a lot of that stupid bullshit that normally I would have to go to, and I'm super pumped that I don't have to do any of that.
I kind of I don't get invited to too many like weddings or events or anything like that, and when I do, it's like. What I really don't like is the preparation, right? I don't have many suits. I don't have like a lot of attire for those types of events. And when I do, I've gained some weight. So like it's uncomfortable. I got to make sure everything is right. The pants are too long. So it's just an uncomfortable thing. So I'm always like dreading it up to the day. And then once I'm there, if I can drink and it's like, and it's enjoyable, I have a good time.
For sure.
I'm just, and I love my kids. I'm just not that person that is always like jumping to, we're bringing them everywhere. It's like, no, or is this like, can somebody watch them?
Yeah.
Is there any kind of, any kind of support right now where we got it. Yep. We're bringing them. Cool. And then I got to be that person that, one of us has to not drink. To make sure that we, don't put our kids' lives in danger, which is,
that's just good.
I guess it's a responsible thing to do. Blah.
That's so boring.
It's so boring.
Yeah. Just join the crowd. Do a couple lines. Take a couple shots. Kids are resilient, from what I hear. They bounce back really fast.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. That's true.
Give them a couple shots.
Fair.
Side tangent, since you said about the lines, did you notice that it's like people are just like really comfortable with promoting the fact that they take bumps and doing coke?
Coke is totally mainstream at this point, from what I've noticed.
Oh my God,
it's for a long time.
It's still, to me, it's very much a culture shock when people are just like, all right, like you see a lot of those.
Were people doing bumps at this wedding celebration?
No. I'm talking about social media.
Okay. I mean, quite the pivot there.
I was like, yo, my man.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't catch anyone doing any kind of bumps.
I see why you were watching.
Wedding is always bumps. Weddings equal bumps.
Yeah, that's
I'm just saying, like that Bill Hader meme right now. Is very popular. Where he's dancing and shit. Yeah. And the number one meme that I see with that is like this party feels like I need to make a phone call or some shit. And it's always about sniffing coke. So yeah, or this alcohol tastes like I need to call my connect or some shit.
Okay, we've all been there.
Never, sorry. So that's why it's odd to me.
Yeah.
And now I'm at the point where it's like,
it made me think, I want to jam some powder up my nose.
And for me, I'm just like, you know what? I'm turning 40 in a couple of months. It's probably not the right time to start that, not let alone, how many people are fucking overdosing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not fucking crack. Like, it's not like you do it once and you're fucking.
No, it's not.
With fentanyl these days, you just never know. Like, you would need to be. I wouldn't just take a random bump from. I would want to watch somebody do that coke before.
Fentanyl would be kind of weird to mix in with coke, though, right?
They say they're putting it in everything, bro. I don't.
Yeah, they're putting it.
They're just
putting that shit.
But why? Like, that's not a
it's
good
probably
cut.
cheap. They get it Mexican. It's probably cheaper than baby powder. They cut
How
up their
could it
coke
be
and they
cheaper
fucking
than like
double
fucking Nositol?
Bro, I've heard
that
that
shit
they've
is
been
like fucking or
Heisenberg over
creatine.
here.
Like that.
I've
shit
heard
is
that
like
they are
nothing.
sprinkling that shit in weed, bro.
I've heard that
I've
also,
heard that.
but there are
never...
zero reports
Zero.
across the country of fentanyl found in weed. There is not one single case of anyone capturing marijuana and discovering fentanyl involved, which makes me, that's why it makes me question this whole thing about fentanyl and coke. Because it's like, that's not like fentanyl and heroin makes sense. It's cheaper than fucking heroin and it gives you the same effect or a similar effect. And it allows you to cut it so you could spread out your crop or whatever, you know, your purchase.
Crop.
Crop is the wrong industry. I mean, unless you're growing your own opium in your backyard.
Hey, yeah, if you live in Afghanistan, and
right?
you have a poppy field.
But it doesn't make sense. I mean, I'm no drug dealer. Who the fuck knows? It may actually be happening, but it doesn't make sense to me. Like I feel like, you know. Your customers would like come back and be like, yo, this coke literally did not even, it was not an upper. Like I fell asleep after I fucking sniffed your coke.
Speedballs. They want the uppers and the downers at the same time.
Yeah, it could be.
Your vodka Red Bulls.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, but Mac Miller definitely died from, they said it was a mixture of cocaine and fentanyl.
Yeah, that's just, like
Really?
he said, it's a speedball, right?
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah,
I guess.
John Belushi.
But speedball is coke and heroin, right?
Speedball is an upper and a downer.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, technically, yes, that is a speedball, but people call a speedball anything.
Right, fentanyl and heroin are basically the same shit. Fentanyl is just synthetic version of heroin.
But they were saying that, like Mac Miller.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're doing it on purpose, it would make sense. But like, if you're just cutting your shit,
yeah,
you know, with fentanyl, that just seems kind of like just yeah, you're right. Like, what's the in Platonic when they think they're doing coke and it ends up being like some like special K mix or whatever.
Yeah.
Where their jaws, where they like.
Yeah. It's just damn. I'm trying to remember what the fuck it was called because there was totally a name for that little mixture that he had. Huh?
It was ketamine.
Yeah, but he called it something. He referred to it because he was like, "Oh, did they even have this when you were back partying or whatever?" And she was like, "What's he talking about?"
Was it sass?
Nah, it was it was some mix of. I think it was Special K and Coke or something like that. CK, that's what it is.
CK?
Yeah, coke and ketamine.
Coke and ketamine. CK?
Oh,
damn.
shit. Crazy. All right.
Yeah.
Let's party.
That conversation really.
All right. So for other druggies that are part of the cult, welcome to the show.
Drugs are part of the culture, guys. Come on.
Hey,
please
I say what I say.
us.
I say what I say, but no judgment over here. Y'all have fun however. Y'all live your lives however y'all feel fit.
Yeah. Be safe.
Enjoy.
Be safe. Have that
Narcan
Narcan handy.
Coke never hurt nobody.
Yep. Be safe. Everybody do yours. I don't know. I've never did the nose can. It was just crazy. It's like almost shocking to me how just everyone's okay with it before. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it's because we're not white.
Yeah, maybe. Because
we
grew up and everything was coke. Everything was crack.
A little bit more, especially like 80s, 90s white culture. Like that was very prevalent, not a big deal.
Yuppie.
Kind of still, definitely in the yuppie crowd. In our kind of hood culture, like most
you're a crackhead if you did anything.
Most
other
people
than
that were like doing lines all the time were, you know,
bass heads.
Tecatos, in a way, like we were just like, then again, he cokehead basically. You do one line of coke and you're a cokehead. It's like you're not even allowed to just, you know, chill at a party and have like a bump in the back. That is a cokehead. You seen that shit? Yo, he was doing bumps in the bathroom.
For white people, it's like caviar. It's a delicacy. Is how we treat it basically.
Honestly, bro, like I probably should have fronted. I should have fronted like I did do that because I remember this one kid in high school. People would smoke with him, but but because he was known to do coke and other shit, they would always say, "Yo, if if he invites us to smoke and he doesn't roll up in front of us, I'm rolling up my own shit. I'm not smoking it. So if you front it like, yo, I got one of these. No. I'm gonna roll my own shit. All right, well, cool.
So they thought it was laced. He thought he put coke
because
in
it
his
might
shit
be
that he
laced.
would
Because
roll
it
up.
might be laced or some shit. So you just fuck around, pretend to do that, and you're gonna get smoked up all the time.
We called that a woo. If
Yeah.
you
It's a
woo,
woo
that
blunt.
woo blunts, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, son.
Yeah.
We're trying to puff
I mean,
that.
if
We
you're doing
weren't
coke
avoiding
in high school, that might be a problem.
Yeah, that was for sure. For sure.
You know, coke at 40. I still, I would.
It's still pretty
not
You're an
recommend
adult.
common.
You can make a responsible decision.
But yeah, you're a little bit more responsible at that age.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't even know if that was true, but I remember my boy saying, "Yo, he does coke, so if he doesn't
that
roll it
guy.
up in front of you, don't smoke that shit. Roll up your own shit." It's like, all right,
Word. You want to end up
All right.
like Smokey in Debo's chicken coop.
Right.
Nah.
Getting butt naked.
All right, let's hit up some questions real quick.
All right, fellas, we're gonna start with a movie versus. So remember, this is strictly films. This doesn't take any sort of TV into account at all.
Sure.
We have Chris Tucker versus Martin Lawrence. Movies.
So they're movie catalogs.
Yes.
Chris Tucker versus Martin Lawrence.
So basically, I don't think Chris Tucker did much TV, but we can't count Martin.
Okay. I get you. Honestly, let me see. I gotta bring it up because
I got Chris Tucker right here. So I went through a bunch of his movies. Obviously, you have your Friday classic. Everyone loves Friday. Hood classic. Also, Dead Presidents.
okay.
Another one that I really enjoyed. Jackie Brown. And even though the Rush Hour movies, they weren't the best. Like they were funny. I watch them if they're on like TNT or some shit.
I fuck with Rush Hour.
For sure. Also for Chris Tucker, two more notables was the new movie Air. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. He was in
I heard
that.
he did very well in that.
He was pretty good. And Silver Linings Playbook as well with Jennifer Lawrence.
He was in that.
Yeah. No, there was
Okay.
a couple. Like I said, I had to look it up. So I mean, my man definitely
Money Talks
has
was my
some-
shit too.
What was that?
Money Talks with Charlie Sheen back in the day. That was my shit
yes. I still will fuck with that when that shit's on TV. House Party 3.
too. Yeah.
Another one.
House Party 3.
Yeah,
He was in that shit.
he was.
Oh,
Johnny
that was the trash
Booze
one.
is what he's credited as.
Yeah.
And he was, I think, on one episode of Hanging with Mr. Cooper, even though we're not counting
We're
TV.
not. So why bring it up? Why bring it up?
Uncredited in The Meteor Man.
Oh, okay.
You remember
that's
The
cool.
Meteor Man?
Yeah, I do remember Meteor Man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Martin, honestly.
Bad Boys.
And the Bad Boys movies. We had House Party, the OG ones, which were the shit. He was in Boomerang. Thin Line Between Love and Hate.
Blue Streak is my
Fucking
shit.
Blue Streak is my
Blue
shit.
Streak is
Nothing
my
to
shit.
lose is my shit.
Ooh, Nothing to
Life-
Lose, another good one. Those
Yeah,
two right
Life.
there.
As a kid, I did enjoy Big Mama's House. Those were funny.
I never fucked with Big Mama's House. I wasn't
Big Mama's House. The first one was good.
First one was good,
it
but
was
then
funny,
he dragged that shit on to 2
Yeah,
or 3, and I think even like a 4th one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where it got. And honestly, around that time, around Big Mama's House 2 is when things started going downhill. National Security, I remember being funny.
That was good.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny with the B, right? Looked like he was beating the shit
Yep.
out of him, but dude, yeah, fuck.
Yep.
All right, so Martin Lawrence, then, yeah, I feel like
Yeah, I think I gotta go Martin too. And you could even go all the way back. He was in House Party 1 and 2 and Do the Right Thing.
Do the right
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Shit.
Yes.
Classics.
Yeah.
So yeah, he and then even if you want to bring it up,
Do
like
his stand-ups count as films?
I mean, if they did, it's still like he was the shit. He was hosting.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I was like, that would 100% put him over the top.
Yeah, Def Comedy Jam.
He hosted Def Comedy Jam. He had his own specials. He was killing it on the stand-up game.
Yeah, but even just counting movies, I would have to say Martin Lawrence.
I don't even know. Like, was Chris Tucker on TV? Did he do like SNL or something like that?
He did Hanging with Mr. Cooper. that was literally. That's all I could see.
But that's the only way that you can make it somewhat fair.
Fifth Element for Chris Tucker as well. If you're a big Fifth Element fan.
Oh yeah, he had a major role. I would not major, but
big enough.
Majorly remarkable.
Yes, memorable. Yeah.
Definitely memorable.
Singing the Lionel Richie. I can hear him singing all night long with that fucking. His hair was wild in that shit.
Yeah.
So Martin Lawrence is that?
Martin Lawrence.
I think that's.
I think
unfortunately,
that's
we all agree once again, but that's.
I mean that's
down.
pretty. I would like to see. I mean, if people are going to give a shit for agreeing on Martin Lawrence, I'd make a case for Chris Tucker, and if it's legit,
please.
I'll fucking
do.
I'll get your back on that.
Blue Streak though, that was my shit.
Oh, bro, the
like
pizza delivery, when he's busting it down. Oh my god, pizza delivery for robbery, homicide. He's got the fucking teeth, bro. Oh my god.
Yo, I saw. There's a TikTok going around where it's like, yo, Tubi strikes again, because you know how they have like real low quality movies and shit.
Yeah.
Where it was like the worst acting. They some dude arrests this man and takes him to the precinct. He's like, let's go. And then they cut to the precinct, and it was and Martin Lawrence in the distance is standing outside of the precinct because they just took the scene from Blue Streak.
No shit. I feel like I might have saw that. That's like they were
in
filming
an actual Tubi show.
Yeah, in a Tubi movie, I think. I want to say.
How old is that Tubi movie?
Yeah, it looks recent, son.
They probably thought, nobody would notice.
That's great.
But yeah, everybody's just like, he's like, yep. And then we get to this part, and that's fucking Martin Lawrence.
That's awesome.
Fuck.
Maybe they owned the footage. It was like the same studio. They owned the footage. They're like, we'll just reuse this. Nobody will notice that shit from the 90s.
Yeah.
Sure.
When you put that shit on the internet, everybody notices every fucking thing, bro.
Luke Wilson, and Martin Lawrence should have done more shit together. Absolutely.
Yeah. Believe that.
And Chappelle, remember Chappelle was in that too?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my god.
He told me I was ugly and couldn't read good. That was my shit.
I feel like that shit is on Netflix or something, because I'm pretty sure it just popped up.
I'm sure, yeah.
I gotta rewatch. And the dude, because the Diamond was in the police station, right? Like that's why he was going back all those years.
Yep.
And one of the dudes that he did the job with, I'm pretty sure it was Zed from Pulp Fiction. Like that dude. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck that dude's name is, but like he has that face where you fucking. I think
you're right.
You remember that face.
It was because I remembered that he was the bad guy in The Mask with Jim Carrey.
That's another Zed, man. He had a good 90s, bro. What happened to that dude?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Who the fuck knows, bro? Who the fuck knows?
All right. That was
Zed's
okay.
dead,
So Martin
baby.
Lawrence, I guess, that was fairly easy. I'll come back next week with a harder versus, because I feel like once we got into it,
it has to be two people that are like somewhat evenly matched.
What if we did Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence? Would that have been? Nah, Eddie Murphy would have shit on him. I don't think Eddie Murphy's fair.
I mean, but that would have been a closer argument, like, you know, in my opinion. But who knows? Because like the movies are
some big Rush Hour fans out there. You never know.
I fuck with Rush Hour. Yeah,
I know the outtakes. I fuck with the outtakes at the end of Rush Hour. Those are my favorite.
That was. Like if they keep talking about possibly making an Rush Hour 4, and I don't know how good it would be, because the thing that made Rush Hour great was them treading that line of just like the fucking racist jokes that they would have for both sides, you know, and so
I mean, were they like racist jokes, or were they just culturally based?
Culturally insensitive.
Culturally insensitive, possibly, but today would be considered racist jokes. And that's the thing. Like back then, we would laugh like at those jokes because it went both sides, you know?
Yeah. Black, Asian.
And that's what made it great. If they came back now and just tried to like rehash some jokes, really trying to be PC, like it just is not going to work. Yeah, it would be super fucking cringy. It would have to be. It would have to match the level of, the content that they came out with back then. And I don't know.
I don't think that would fly.
I don't know if they can pull it off, but
if they could,
I hope they could. I hope they could because that shit was great. I'd watch it. All right, what's next?
All right, we have one of our famous would you rathers here. So,
oh shit,
fellas, would you rather be forced to remove your pants anytime you have to sit down, or go down on someone with uncontrollable gas?
Where the fuck do you get these like comparisons?
these were cards that Jonni sent me from a game.
Okay.
So I picked
That's cool. It's just so fucking random.
That's good though. We need random.
Yeah, no, that's good. All right, so every time
yep. So you're at a wedding, at church, at an interview, at a restaurant with your lady having a good meal, you have to take your fucking pants right off, dog. Not even pull them down. They got to be off.
Comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Or uncontrollable
you have to wear
gas.
more underwear than normal.
Some long johns.
I'm gonna have to go with removing my pants every time I sit down. Whenever I go out in public, I'm standing, dog.
So you're not even gonna sit down.
There's
no more sitting down.
I'm just not sitting down in public. No.
And at home, you're just boxers and briefs.
Pants off. Pants off.
Yep. My family will get used to just me.
That is
being boxes.
Better for you than having to one time go down on someone with gas.
Was it? I don't know. Was I was assuming it was every time, like your partner.
No, there's always stipulations here, and I didn't assume that this would be one time, bro.
I know. I was thinking. I was like, did it say like multiple, like forever? I don't remember seeing that. Hearing that.
Yeah, no, it didn't. It didn't. So you're right. It did just one time, like a couple toots. You can't deal with that. He's like, my man will stand all the time, calves and quads of steel.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, because I'm not eating ass or anything, so
you don't need to eat ass. You know where pussies are, right? Compared to where assholes are. You know how that works?
I'm just saying.
I'll give you a
you're
little
more
lesson
affected
right
by. The gas thing would be way worse if you're eating ass.
I mean, yeah, but it's not going to be much better if you're eating pussy.
No, it's someone else's fucking butthole.
Yeah, just like let it rip.
Ugh.
Flaps your cheeks.
Like, with every fart, there's always like particles of poop.
Always. Yeah, that's what farts are. Poop particles. So it's
suck the fart right out of there. That's what they say, right?
Every single time.
It is.
No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, are you taking your pants off when you sit down, Jonni?
No, fuck that. I'm gonna eat some chick out with fucking nasty ass gas.
Yeah, if it's one time, I'll.
If it's one time,
it is. It wasn't specified.
If it's
so
every time,
that changes things. I'll do it one time. That's it.
I'm a man
every time.
Nah, I'll do it one time. But if it's every time, it's just like magically every time I go down on a chick, she's farting. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm good on that.
I mean,
either that or I'm just not. I'm never.
I was
going
gonna
down
say, I could just like abstain from ever going down on a chick, but
pretty much.
Man, that would be sad.
Yeah, that would suck.
yeah. There's no. Yeah. Because that
limits your repertoire too. So now you got some.
Right.
You lost half your moves at that point if you're not going down.
You lost half your moves, and then that they're once they realize like, yo, this isn't being reciprocated.
Right. Oh and they cut you off. But then you start ripping ass while they're fucking going down on your shit. You like that?
Just start. I could just start loading up on cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, milkshake. Kill him now. He's trying to. This is uncontrollable. This is uncontrollable for her because of a genie's wish, and he's letting
he's
loose.
Doing lines of Parmesan cheese before he's banging her, so that he can fucking.
He's like, I don't know where this is
I'll
coming
show
from.
her. She's like, why is he so smelly? I don't understand. Meanwhile, she has no idea about the genie.
Right. That's always the thing, right? They never smell themselves.
No, it's not their concern.
And by they, I mean everyone that stinks.
Sure. Yeah.
We're not calling anybody out. We're not singling out anybody here. Just for the record. So wait. Did we all do the uncontrollable gas?
Yeah, if it's
Just
one
the
time,
one
yeah.
time, yeah. I mean,
If it's one time, then yeah.
If it's one time, yeah,
If
it's a good sacrifice.
all the time,
yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with the pants. I'd rather deal with that than I'm not. Yeah, if it's all the time, I can't. No, I'm not doing that. No, absolutely not.
Like, because sometimes, it's laundry day and you're not wearing your best boxers. So, like, you sit down somewhere and you're just like, this isn't normally how I'd be with my pants off.
Oh, no. If that's the case.
Just stand, like Walk said.
Yeah, you're just going to stand the
But,
entire
like, you're
day.
at a restaurant, you go out to eat with your lady and you're standing at the table and she's
You
fucking
just don't
sitting
go
there,
out
bro.
that day.
Nah, we don't go out.
What do you mean that
babe,
day? Anytime. You can't go out.
We go out. We eat at the bar. I can stand at the bar. Yeah.
That works.
Just
that
lean
works.
up against the bar real
Yeah,
quick.
just lean against the bar the whole time. And you know
You
what's
got your
even
kids
worse?
posted up at the bar.
You know what's even worse is like,
Baby, high chair.
you know how naturally you would respond by just sitting and you don't even notice?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't even notice that you just undid your pants and sat for a second. Like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Put them back on. And just that 1 second is just everybody
You're
staring
just like
at
in the
you.
middle of conversation as you're like folding your shit, hanging
Yeah.
over the back of the chair.
Not even breaking conversation.
Ooh,
Just
I just thought of
totally
something.
locked. Like, yeah.
I just thought of something.
It's crazy.
I just thought of something, bro.
What's that?
You got to sit when you drive.
Ooh.
I mean, which is not a big
Nah,
deal,
you
and we
get a
all
razor
have our
scooter.
ladies, so they would they would just be used to it.
Yeah.
But imagine being someone that's like on a first date. You go pick somebody up. You go knock on the door. Blah blah blah. You get them in the car. You open up the car door, let them in, and then
to the
you
other
come
side.
around. You open the door. You unbuckle your pants. You do it. You slide them down, and then you sit down and you start to drive.
Now, imagine
Like-
an Uber or a taxi. You
Yes,
pop your pants
yeah.
off. You hang them on the little hook they have in the top and the back there, like where you're supposed to
Yep.
put shit.
Yep.
And you're just like, yeah, can I go to 7th and 83rd, please?
Oh man, you just start wearing pants under your pants.
Ooh, no, you gotta pop them.
No,
You gotta pop them.
It's still
Wearing
awkward
pants
because
under
you're
your
still
pants.
undoing a set of pants
Like I
and
said,
dropping them down to expose another set of pants. People are not going to look at you like you are a sane person.
you wear long johns or bloomers like they wore in like 1890.
Nah, son.
You got
Bloomers.
put your bloomers
Yeah.
on.
Fruit of
Your
the
long
Blooms.
johns have to be like waffle
Yes.
style.
No, they
long
have to be
johns, or can
they have to be
like,
waffle. No,
you
they
know,
have to be
compression
waffle
pants.
style. Nope.
Nah,
no.
yeah.
Waffle style, bitch.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the compression pants. So
Nah.
I
If
put
they're
those
long
under
johns,
shorts
they're
all the
waffle
time.
style. That's all there is to it. You're not getting around that shit.
Yeah, the off-white
the
ones.
rules.
Yeah. No, I mean, whatever color suits your personality best, whatever you want, dog. But yeah, they're gonna be waffled like a motherfucker.
Okay.
All black, everything.
Waffle.
Yeah, it would be awkward, but there's just more situations where you're just not. Now you've altered your life around to taking a bus because you can stand on the bus.
You can stand on the bus.
Yeah, it's a full on situation. You just end up buying a fucking a Segway,
Hey,
and
there
that's how you
go.
get around.
So you got to go cross country.
Right? Yeah. Hey man, stand on the plane.
Get on the plane.
Now then the air marshals are fucking you up.
Facts.
Sit down, sir.
True. That's true.
Got to be buckled in, sir.
I should have
Fine.
gone with the choach.
He's like, who's got
Yeah.
gas? Let me eat that pussy right now. I'm not trying to stand up this whole flight.
Yeah, that's facts.
All right, fellas.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
Last question. Give me your Mount Rushmore of childhood cartoons.
Mount Rushmore. Cartoons. Oof.
Of childhood.
There's so many
cartoons.
to choose from.
I know, but this is Mount Rushmore, dog. This is the elite, son. This isn't like, oh, I used to watch that when I'd eat my cereal Saturday morning. It's like, this is that shit.
Yeah.
Rushmore, baby. Rushmore.
So that's top 4, basically, right?
Yes, sir.
Top 4.
I know one of Johnny's.
Like cartoons or Saturday morning cartoons?
No, cartoons.
Just
Doesn't have to be
cartoons in general.
just
Childhood cartoons.
Childhood cartoons. Yep. Nothing crazy.
I'm gonna go with Ninja Turtles.
Yep. That was one of mine too. Facts.
That was my shit.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
X-Men
Ooh, the Fox
was my
X-Men.
shit. Yeah, the Fox X-Men. Yep.
Yeah.
Batman, the animated series.
It was also Fox, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are all of the
Fox
ones that.
killing it.
Yeah, Fox was killing it. And this is where it gets tough for me. I don't know a fourth that like really stands out to me.
Stands out. Like it takes you back, son.
Takes me back. I'm going to go with DuckTales.
Ooh, very good one. DuckTales. I've been listening to that theme a lot lately too. It's been very prevalent on the social medias. I don't know why, but yeah, that's a banger, bro. Still to this day, that's a banger.
Yeah. It's a duck blur.
It's
It's a duck blur.
Yeah.
DuckTales.
I'd say those 4 were the ones that I just could not miss.
Yeah.
Or
that's
every time I caught it, I was glued.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Johnny, what do you got? Cartoons.
Oh man, I've been writing down like the ones that jump out at me.
Sure.
And in an effort to not repeat, because I have to say that 100% my number one would be DuckTales.
Oh, damn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew that, and I tried to think of something else to not take DuckTales because I knew that's number one on Johnny's list.
Yeah,
but unfortunately,
definitely DuckTales. I still watch them when like Disney Plus came out.
Let's say they redid that, right? They
that was one of
rebooted
the
it?
first things that I watched was and I think I might have mentioned this on the show previously, but the uncoordination. I haven't gone back recently to see if they fixed it, but DuckTales on Disney Plus does not start at the same. So the episode numbers are misaligned because it doesn't start with the same episode 1. It starts on episode 3. I think it's episode 3 or 4 because there was I think it was actually a 5. Basically, the first few episodes of DuckTales were a series, like a mini series or something, where they and a lot of the scenes from the intro, the intro collage, are from that first episode or that first series or whatnot, where it's like I'm trying to remember what it was actually called, but basically they do like this search for some lost gold. It was like an El Dorado type thing, but a lot of those scenes where they're like, running and like the bricks are melting into gold and all that stuff. All of that was from a series that are not for some reason included on Disney Plus. I have no idea why. Anyways, moving along. Hugh and Dewey and Louie. Those are my homies. X-Men also, but again, not to repeat. So, this might be. You know what? I'm gonna do my 4 with a chiseled honorable mention that I know is like a low shout out. All right, so number 1, I'm gonna go Tailspin. Same Disney afternoon. Huge
Was it
timeline.
Rescuers Down Under as well. Was Tailspin and Rescuers Down Under? Were they...
Rescuers Down Under, I believe, was a movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Rescue Rangers. You're talking
Rescue Rangers.
Okay,
Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Was that what I was thinking of? Rescue
that was my
Rangers
shit
and
too.
Tailspin.
That was
Oh my
Chippendale. Yeah.
And Chippendale.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers. That's
Chippendale
what it was.
Rescue. They were one.
No.
That was what? Chippendale Rescue Rangers was the name of the show.
Chippendale Rescue. So Rescue
With
Rangers.
Monterey Jack.
Yeah, with Monterey Jack
We had the
and
mustache,
Gadget.
right? And
Yeah.
you wore the goggles.
It's the
he
whole
would
thing that the
float every
movie
time
was
he
based
seen
on.
cheese.
Yeah.
Every time he would smell cheese, he would just
He would like go.
He
to
would
the
float,
cheese.
and follow it.
Yeah. Come on.
that was my
Come on.
shit.
Yeah, all part of the Disney afternoon. I believe it started with DuckTales, then it went to Chippendale, and then it went to Tailspin, from what I remember. And then there was Darkwing Duck. It was in that mix as well.
Yep. That was
But
on
I'll
top
say
of my head,
Tailspin.
too.
I'll lock in on Tailspin because currently I usually name all of my electronic devices, or more specifically my Apple devices, after some sort of historic cartoon thing. For a long time it was Transformers. I did Ready Player One characters for a while. I did what was the Beast Wars? I did Beast Wars for a while.
That was my shit.
And currently I'm on Tailspin. So all of my, my phone is called Cloud Kicker. I have an iPad called like Cape Suzette, and another one called like King Louie, and
These are
Shere
deep
Khan,
references.
all the characters of Tailspin. So I'm gonna go Tailspin.
Okay.
Older Johnny, high school, this time frame for me, Dragon Ball Z. I gotta say,
Yeah,
Dragon Ball
was
Z.
the
I
shit.
would literally come home every day from school and watch the latest episode.
Yeah.
This is before the internet, so I didn't have access to the Japanese, shit. So I had to watch it on, I think, Cartoon Network.
I feel like Dragon Ball Z
fucking
was on
airing.
Fox for a while.
That Frieza saga lasted for like fucking weeks.
It was so long. It was annoying. It was, it was all the things. But it was something I still had to watch. Like I was addicted to it.
Sure, yeah.
So I'll say Dragon Ball Z.
I saw it all the way up until like when they introduced Trunks and shit, and Trunks came back. So I watched it all up until that part.
I watched that, and then I ended up going back, and like years later, it became popular again with Dragon Ball Super and all that, and my friends were super into it, so I started watching again, and with Cell and a lot of that stuff. And I know you hit me up about all of my Dragon Ball Z's having or being subbed and not overdubbed. And you're like, yeah, my kids are not gonna read the subs. I need the
Yeah,
the
I don't
English
care.
version.
Dubs are the worst.
Yeah, especially
I
the
mean,
later
that's how
ones.
I'm used to it,
The
though.
earlier
That's how I'm used
ones,
to it.
I feel they were better, but the later ones, the Goku voices, terrible.
Yeah. I personally don't mind it. I'll do the dubs, no problem. But it wasn't
With
for me.
animation,
It was for the kids.
it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For me, it was just for the kids. The kids are like, yeah, and then they're not understanding a fucking word, and it's just going too fast for them to read.
yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, Tailspin, Dragon Ball Z. I'm gonna go number 3, Tiny Toon Adventures.
Ooh, that was
Tiny
one of
Toons,
mine.
that
I
was
had
great.
that on my list, you cocksucker.
Nice.
For
was a good
some
one.
reason, I think it's I'm pretty sure it's just because I pick up my daughter and I sing to her like random shit all the time, just like whatever we're doing. And recently, like in the last week, like that's been like the background melody that I'll use for like shit that I sing to her. And so I was like, oh man, I don't remember exactly like the phrasing and like which section went which. So I just pulled it up on YouTube and I was listening to the theme song again. And I was like, yeah, that's my shit. Tiny Toon Adventures.
Tiny Toon Adventures.
Bats and Buster Bunny.
Montana Max.
Montana Max has money.
Montana.
Ducky go down the hole, or elevator go down the hole.
Blue ball go down the hole.
Yeah.
That's my shit.
I press the button. You don't press the button.
Yeah, that was best. Baby Plucky, he's cool. All right, and my last one, I'm gonna go with another. And again, the theme song is always what catches me. But I also recently pulled it up on Disney Plus. Gummy Bears.
That I'm not.
Yeah.
That was
It
was not a very popular show, but it was only on Disney Channel, which is why it wasn't so popular, because you had to pay to have Disney Channel. I did not have Disney Channel growing up. Famously, I've mentioned many times that we had nothing but the festival channel as far as premium services. So I could only ever see it when I went to my cousin Swerve's house when I was usually sick from school or something like that.
Yeah,
so
was
that's
also
the
Disney.
reason why it pulls for me a very nostalgic
Gummy Bears.
top tier show. And the theme song was like, I just Gummy Bears bouncing here and there and everywhere.
What year was this approximately?
85 to 91.
What was it?
85 to 91.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's mad early.
I'm seeing the on IMDb they have like a little trailer thing that's just kind of playing, and I vaguely remember this.
It was like you said,
it's Disney.
Mid to late 80s, early time frame. I mean, I would have been like 8 years old or something when I was totally into this.
Sure.
But again, I was more into it because it was like, oh, that's a show that I can't watch at home.
Yeah.
I can only watch it at in a special occasion.
It was a treat.
And then my honorable mention, chiseled on the side, literally chiseled, is probably something y'all don't have any recollection of. Maybe Walk. Captain Caveman.
Yeah, Captain
Caveman.
Was that Flintstone Kids? Wasn't that from the Flintstone Kids?
I think
Wasn't
so.
Captain
I think it was Flintstone.
Yeah.
Because there was a little Captain
But that's
Caveman
100%
too.
Saturday morning only.
Yeah.
That's the only time I ever saw Captain Caveman.
Yes.
I had a
that was
Captain
the shit.
Caveman like doll, and I don't even call him a doll, but like a stuffed figurine. He was like it was like a Beanie Baby type material, and he had like the club and everything. It was so fucking cool. I used to love that thing.
You know what was my Disney show, because we didn't have Disney either, because it was after
Not
the
even with the
Descrambler and
Descrambler?
everything. No, because we had the Descrambler, so I had certain shows, but after, matter of fact, it may have been because of the Descrambler, but one of the shows, it wasn't a cartoon, but I used to fuck with that Alice in Wonderland Disney show. Like it was a full on like live action Disney show.
I
But because it wasn't something like in my room, I didn't have a Descrambler. Like I had to go to like my dad's quote unquote like man cave where he had like his bar and all this other shit to be able to see that shit. So it was, or the main TV. And whenever I caught it, and back then it's not like the kids now where they like something, they pull it up, you just tap it and it plays. Like it just happened to have been on in order for us to watch it. So whenever I would catch that, I was like, oh, for whatever reason, I was like super into that show. I was like, oh shit, it's on, oh shit. Like I got to catch that one episode or some shit. It just reminded me of that because, we
now that you say live action,
better times.
Just quick tangent. I don't remember what channel it was on, if it was like a broadcast thing or if it was a Disney Channel thing. But do y'all remember Kids Incorporated?
Yeah.
Vaguely. I have
that used to also be my
that.
shit.
Kids.
Yeah.
That was a cartoon?
No, it wasn't a cartoon. It was live action.
Live
It was
action.
like,
Okay, hold on.
like a bunch of teens that I think they
That was
met up in a
84.
garage and had like a pop band or something like that.
Yeah,
Fergie-
84 to
Fergie was in
93.
that.
That was a long run.
DS.
Fergie.
84
Fergie
to
was in that.
93. That was a
my
long
God,
run.
that is a long run.
Yeah, Fergie.
I don't remember that.
You said Fergie was.
I remember very early in my time. And again, if it was Disney Channel, then it was a thing that I would catch. Like, how Disney would also, just like HBO, they would do those like weekends or like a 1 week for free for everyone.
Yeah.
I would catch it during that time, and then I'd be like, oh, I gotta watch as many as I can before I lose it.
Bruh,
notable
Jennifer
Kids
Love
Incorporated.
Hewitt.
Yeah.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, Mario Lopez,
Yeah.
and Fergie all came from there.
And
Shit.
Fergie's name was Stacy in that, so that's where
Yeah.
that line comes from. I never knew why the fuck they would call her Stacy.
That's
Yeah.
so wild.
Wow, Kids
That was
Incorporated.
yeah, I remember it vaguely.
Nothing. I got nothing.
All right,
little
let's
baby
finally get to your so we can get off of this topic.
All right.
Let's get to your Mount Rushmore real quick.
So, Bobby's World
Ooh,
was
nice.
good one.
definitely one of my favorites. Literally, like, I would go to a babysitter when I was younger, like in the morning before school, and she would get me on the bus. And I remember Bobby's World would air before I would get on the bus, so I would always watch that, and she would give me whatever I wanted to eat. So if I wanted fruit snacks or string cheese or, you know, whatever, she would let me fucking munch it before I went to school and did my thing. And I would always watch Bobby's World, like had to watch Bobby's World. You know, that was 100% my shit.
Good shit.
Ninja Turtles, obviously.
Yeah.
I know that was a big one for
Huge.
I remembered that because my daughter now she wants to watch the OG Ninja Turtles.
because that opening theme
She
song
watches-
just fucks so
She
hard.
watches. She doesn't like the new Ninja Turtle movies. She's
they're
excited to watch the new one that's coming out, the animated one. But she is a fan of the OG movies, both 1 and 2, and then she wants to watch all these old cartoons. She's the one who came out and was just like, "I want to see this Ninja Turtles," and it was the OG one that we would watch when we were a kid. So I was like, "Yes, okay,
Yes.
all right." So
She's
yeah,
not
that's
a fan of part 3.
She's on a good. Yeah, she doesn't fuck with part 3. She's better than that.
I haven't exposed her to it. I'm sure
nor
she would
should
fuck
you.
with it, but
Save her.
nah, yeah, I'm not doing it.
Do you guys recall Filmation's Ghostbusters?
That sounds familiar. Specifically, Filmation's.
I remember
Film. Yes, it was because it wasn't your normal Venkman and all that shit. This was a very old. It was a movie that they made an animated series out of right around the time the actual Ghostbusters movie came out. But the Filmation's Ghostbusters was like a couple dudes, a massive gorilla, but like the same fucking premise, bro. And my grandma, she knew I liked the Ghostbusters movie. So she bought me all these Ghostbusters cartoons on
that's
VHS, bro.
hilarious.
But it was Filmation's Ghostbusters. It wasn't the real Ghostbusters
Right.
that, you know, we're thinking of. And I ended up fucking with all of these because I
do see
watched
that.
them on
I'm
repeat.
seeing it here.
I watched them on repeat for years. So when I think Ghostbusters cartoons, I actually think Filmation's Ghostbusters, which is
Nah,
Fucked up.
that reminded me that I used to fuck with the Ghostbusters that, you know, Venkman and stuff. Like they did have the cartoon, and that was the shit.
they did. They all ran at the same time, but they specifically had to have the Filmations in front of it so that they weren't,
yeah.
you know,
Right.
fucking with the normal.
No,
Ghostbusters
yeah,
money.
I'm seeing the cover right now. That's crazy. The logo of them is just like a ghost that's just like screaming like, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. And they were dope, bro. Like I can still remember plots and shit from like being a kid and watching those. And I mean, obviously I fucked with the regular Ghostbusters too, but
That was a 1 year run for that.
and it was like 60 something episodes too. It was a lot, and I think my grandma bought me like half of those.
65, yeah,
Yeah.
for a 1 year run. 60. Yo, shit used to.
She used to pop off.
Yo, now that we're getting like 5 and 6 episodes or something,
Right.
I miss those days when we had like, cause I remember like even
That's why
like
these fucking
DuckTales.
writers are striking.
Yeah, exactly. Cause even like DuckTales, 100 episodes, and I was like, okay, like I remember there was a bunch of episodes for DuckTales. It's 100 episodes, but it ran from 87 to 95. Like it's not a whole lot of years that it actually ran. And there are some that are like that, like where it ran for like a year, but I remember
Seeing it all
so
the time.
many
Yeah.
fucking episodes and shit. Now, and I'm like, what? There was only like X amount of episodes. They used to just play them shits over and over and over again. Did you say the 4? What was the 4th?
No, the last one was Animaniacs.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
just that they were so
Good pivot off of Tiny Toon.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like they're, that's the same sort of family neighborhood.
Yeah.
But I had to give a shout out to Sea Bear and Jamal, which was a Tone Loc.
Why does that sound?
A Tone Loc voiced teddy bear that he played with this kid.
Familiar.
Sea Bear and Jamal.
And Gargoyles. As well. I fucked with Gargoyles
Yeah.
pretty hard. Like, it wasn't my favorite, but like I definitely remember watching a fuck ton of it as a kid.
Yo, Sea Bear and Jamal. Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, no, 80s, 96. That would have been way past my time.
Yeah, I was only
Every
10.
time I hear Tone Loc, I think of Bebe's Kids.
That's hilarious.
What do you think of?
Bebe's Kids.
Oh, Bebe's Kids.
Yeah.
I think a Blank Check.
That too.
I think of Funky Cold Medina.
I mean, yeah, that's one of his songs. Ace Ventura, using Ace Ventura
Yeah, that's true.
as well.
Oh man, yeah, and Sea Bear and Jamal only had 13 episodes. Like
It felt like, as a kid, it felt like there was like
It
100
felt like a
different
lot.
episodes that I was
Yeah,
like,
I
through
watched
anything
it
I
or
watched
played
as a
it
kid, it
so
felt
many
like there was
times, right?
100 different episodes of, whatever I was watching. But yeah, I don't know.
Sure,
I must have watched those 13 episodes 100 different times
1,000
each.
times.
Yeah, for sure.
Facts.
Yeah, no, that's
All right,
all I got.
That was all
fellas.
the questions, right? Oh man, good nostalgia.
Yeah, that was good.
On a lot of fucking tangents. Sorry for the listeners who weren't following along.
Our listeners know all those shows. They're just
Yeah.
as stoked as we are. They're probably going to go watch some of them now that
Yeah,
they're
they're
back
gonna be
in
like,
there.
how did you not mention this or that?
Yeah,
Like,
let us know. Like, if you want to comment, let us know
Yeah.
what your shit was, and I'll go back and I'll get it on the Plex and I'll fuck with it.
yeah, if your shit was James Bond Jr., I fuck with you too.
Or the Ace Ventura. There was an Ace Ventura cartoon.
I remember that vaguely. Yeah.
So bad.
Oh,
dude.
that reminds me. Beetlejuice, the cartoon, was the
Yeah.
shit
That
too.
was great.
Yep.
That was my shit.
Beetlejuice.
Oh man, I remember that theme song too. Burn, burn, burn. It was just the beat to that as it went through all the different shit.
Before we move off of this, what about Street Sharks?
Street Sharks. I remember vaguely.
Vaguely. It wasn't
It wasn't my
dope
shit,
What
but
the fuck?
There were the sharks that wore pants but like weren't underwater, and they were like diesel ass sharks that would go and
yeah,
fuck
didn't they
people up.
wear rollerblades and shit too?
94. How did I not see this? 3 seasons. And it's
Damn,
on
3
Pluto.
seasons of Street Sharks.
And Peacock.
Oh,
Street
man.
Sharks on the
And
cock.
we can't mention all of those things without mentioning the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, there's a
Because
lot.
that was the shit.
Nobody said
thanks.
X-Men too. Did anybody say X-Men?
I said
Oh,
that.
you
why-
said
That
why
was
did?
part of
Okay.
that was part of my
Okay.
OG 4.
Yeah, I think we covered the majors.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Except newer like Rugrats, Doug, Ren and
Yeah,
Stimpy.
Rocko's
There was-
Modern
yeah, there
Life
was a
and
bunch
all
of
that
Nick,
shit.
but that was
There's
still
a
we were getting
ton.
older as those were really coming out and hitting their peak.
Those were our shit, but there's just like always standout ones where you remember that was like your shit.
Between
shit.
like 5 and 8, I feel like
Yeah.
that's the shit that really sticks.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't miss a fucking episode.
I mean,
X-Men was one of those where I look back and there's not a whole lot of episodes of X-Men.
yeah, shit that you could have swore you watched for years, and then it's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, there's 12
Exactly.
episodes. I hope you enjoyed
And
them.
I did. They just played the shit out of those 12 episodes.
Exactly.
And I was there for it every time. All right. So what do y'all want to move on to? Y'all want to move on to some Hollywood? Y'all want to do some news?
I want to move on to a pee-pee break.
And we're back from a nice potty break. So what do you guys want to start with? You want to start with some news? You want to start with some Hollywood? What are y'all feeling like right now?
How about some news?
Some news?
I fucks with the news.
You know what it's time for.
Throwback.
News it is, my guy.
It's been a minute.
It is. Yeah, Johnny, you have something for us? I got something I want to bring up in a
I mean,
second,
there's a decent amount of shit that's happened.
but
But
I'm sure.
some fun shit. Y'all have been hearing about this Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg cage match
yes.
shit that's going on. Challenges.
Yes.
That shit is wild.
Who y'all got?
Zuckerberg's like a martial arts dude, right? Like Taekwondo or something.
Yeah,
wild
we talked
like that.
about it when he was teabagging that dude in the tourney.
He just hopped in the tourney and fucking won it. But Elon Musk is built like a fucking. I don't even know. It's just the weirdest build I've ever seen, but it still looks strong.
He's built like Johnny Bravo.
I don't know about strong. I just feel like lots of mass.
Solid. He looks solid.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah. He has a big upper body and nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh, so take out the legs, you done.
He's like DJ Khaled. You ever see DJ Khaled's legs? He has fucking bro. How is that even possible? My man has toothpicks, like Slim Jim legs, and this upper half that's just fucking massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, because legs are they are hereditary. Like it's just your DNA. There are massive people who work out their fucking legs every day, and they just have toothpick legs. There's nothing you can do about it. I remember back in the day on MTV, they had like the whole surgery, this whole reality show about people who get random surgeries.
Yeah.
And some dude had calf muscles like implanted in his legs because he was so insecure, because he was a dude who worked out and he was like jacked.
Yeah.
He was so insecure about his fucking calves that he got implants. And so that's something that you could work them out as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Because I thought the same thing. I always thought I had like big calves and shins because I was always overweight. And like
that was your body.
It has to keep my fat ass up, right? Yeah. So that was always my thought, but apparently that's not the case, because there are plenty of big dudes.
Yeah.
Who just
DJ
don't
Khaled.
have. Yeah. DJ Khaled's one of them.
Oh, it's gross. It's so gross.
But then again, that also, he wasn't fat. He wasn't fat his whole life, because
Oh, for real?
I saw when he used to DJ in Miami and shit like that, he was skinny.
It was all
It wasn't
that.
until he started getting rich and shit that he's just like, and he just don't give a fuck.
See how he eats and
I
shit.
did not know.
Yeah. He always says that shit. There's that one video. He's like, yo, here's the truth. I can eat like 5 of these. I lost 20 pounds, but I could eat like 5 of these. It's like, yeah, nobody's
We
doubting you
believe
on that,
you, dog.
Yeah, we believe
Just
you, dog.
5?
And just quick dumbass shit that DJ Khaled does. I always find it hilarious that he's one of the first people to fucking quit Hot Ones, because they're like, yo, you do this, you wasted some perfectly good wings.
That episode is a classic.
Yeah.
Hands down, might be the #1 Hot Ones episode.
He got to like number 3. He ate the first one and was like, oh, you do this on purpose?
Right. It was like, bro, that shit was like Louisiana hot sauce. Like, bro, for real? That's what's fucking you up?
It's like Taco Bell mild.
It was bad.
And he's like,
Yeah, exactly.
spicy.
He's just like, oh.
And my favorite part is when he's like, I didn't actually quit.
Yeah.
Like, what? No, bro, you quit. Like, what you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, nah, I didn't really quit. Like, that's not how you could look at this.
I love my favorite one right now is like because everybody's talking shit, because I remember he was on Weight Watchers, and he was like endorsed by Weight Watchers. He was doing all the shit, and then he was like yeah, I don't lose weight because I never lose, I always win. We were just like, all right.
He's got a spin. Yo, that's the spin master.
Yo, he's promotion king, bro.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely. He doesn't lose because he won't let you say
He
it.
He won't let it resonate with you. Yeah.
No.
It won't let it sink in.
Word.
But
anyways, I think I got Zuck on this fight, honestly.
Yeah.
I think he'll do some like leg wrap bullshit, put him
Tap
in a figure
him.
4.
Nah. So at the end of the day, like you said, Zuckerberg has been training MMA for a while. So even if like Elon, and they're rich, right? They're wealthy, beyond wealthy. They're billionaires.
Yes,
so
billionaires.
I think
they don't
Musk
have
is
to do
still like top 2 richest persons in the world.
I'm just saying that they could literally drop everything that they're fucking doing just for training and, you know, have the top elite fucking trainers, have all the people feeding them the right food. They got to want it. But even if he did that, right? Even if Elon Musk did that today, started training, took everything serious, had a chef cook everything up. He got, you know, in shape and he did. Zuckerberg still has the upper hand because he's been training for years. So no matter what he can learn now, Zuck got him.
I heard Elon's mom put a stop to the fight. And it's not happening now.
His mom.
Sure. I swear. I
understand what you're saying. I'm just saying, yeah, sure. His mom came out of nowhere and was just like, no.
Maybe they're spinning it, but it was a tweet that I saw. I don't know how reliable it was, but I read it and I chuckled as I was scrolling through my Twitter feed. So
he was not trying to fight Zuckerberg,
funny. Period. I think that's off the table.
But I think we may have found something.
Zucks was like, yo, pull up. Send me the address.
Yeah, send me location. Send your location.
Come through. I'm there. He was ready.
You know what?
He got Mag G.
I'm not going to lie.
That's gangsta as fuck.
I'm not going to lie, bro. I'm not going to lie, right? This shit, like, I would pay for this. I would go.
Like pay-per-view? $50?
Yeah,
$49.99,
I would watch this. I would watch this to watch 2 billionaires fight each other. I would definitely watch this. But it wasn't the Elon Musk versus Zuckerberg. Like, that's the one that is like opening the door to be like, oh shit, this is something new that we're not, experiencing. But the winner, if the winner has to fight Bezos, I think that fight would be better, yo.
Yeah.
Bezos
is jacked, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's
for
jacked.
Sure. He's got his diesel, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he could swing it,
Right. Muscles don't mean you can fight, but still,
facts.
He's intimidating looking for sure.
100%. There was like some, I seen some other like, I'm trying to remember who he's the founder of or CEO of, but some other like Silicon Valley like tech CEO like challenged all other tech CEOs to a bench pressing contest. I was like, bro, like relax, son. Like nobody wants to hear this bullshit now.
Have y'all seen RFK Jr. pumping iron, doing his push-ups and lifting the weights and shit, bro?
Which,
I've
by the
seen
way,
that all over.
Quick follow up on a previous episode where you asked about RFK Jr. Apparently, he's a Democrat, not a Republican. He's running as a Democrat.
I hear he's a nut
Joe
job.
Biden, I guess, because there's no primary, so he has no actual shot.
Right, which is good because he seems like a fucking wacko.
He's a fucking wacko.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything.
Oh, bro, he's like
you haven't seen all the like Joe Rogan shit with him and
jacked, dude. He's like, I've seen him like working out and shit in like a prison yard. It's weird. Where did they get this video from?
Why is he in a prison?
I don't know. It looks prison yardish wherever he's
on
working
the set
out.
of Mayor of Kingstown.
Yeah. Getting swole.
You said he was on Joe Rogan?
Yeah, he was on. There was like this big controversy last week we didn't cover. Where he was on Joe Rogan and he was just, talking his standard vaccination, anti-vax combos. And there was one of the, a doctor, I think his name is like Dr. Peter Hotez or something like that. Okay. I think he may be somehow involved in one of the COVID vaccines. But he's just been, one of those medical guys that promotes the COVID vax and vaccines in general and scientific talking head. Anyways, he talked, or I guess he retweeted something, an article that was, I think it was like a mother, what is it, motherboard, or is that the website? I can't remember that's the site. But anyways, there's some blog was talking about the Joe Rogan, how he had RFK Jr. on there and it was spitting a lot of misinformation about vaccines. He retweeted out that article, and then Joe Rogan responded like, "Word, if you feel like that, like I challenge you. I'll give you $100,000 to come on the show and debate RFK Jr. directly." And that became like a big thing on Twitter for a while where, because then, of course, the Elon fans, Elon commented like, yeah, if he's really serious, he would, accept the challenge or some bullshit. He said.
Elon instigates like a motherfucker.
Oh, he's a fucking instigator.
Twitter.
And honestly, I don't know if he believes in all of it.
I don't
think he
either.
just likes to promote the
getting
platform.
Clicks, getting views. Like, what is his MO here?
That's the MO. Yeah,
he seems to have. He'll play both sides. He'll comment on some controversial shit just because he knows there's going to be fucking eyes on it. Like, what's the deal here? What's he trying to do? Like, I don't
money.
get it.
That's what he's trying to do. That's
for
it.
him.
That's his only motivation.
Yeah, I take everything with a grain of salt, bro. I'm gonna check out that episode just because I want to hear it. I want to see. Like, I like listening to these random ass people that he has on that show. I don't look for the Joe Rogan show or the Joe Rogan podcast.
I mean, it's only on Spotify, right?
Because it's only on Spotify, and I don't listen to podcasts on Spotify. For some reason, I'm not a fan of their
UI
platform. Yeah, their UI. I'm not a fan of it, so I don't listen to it there. So it's just out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. Not until I run out of podcasts that I go, oh shit, yeah, that's right. Let me go check what Joe Rogan has, or if I see something. But I just like listening to people talk. So. And he generally gets them to talk, and that's the thing. And I think that's why, why Joe Rogan gets a lot of backlash is because he doesn't necessarily give people kickback on the shit that they say.
No.
He gives
just
them a platform.
kind of
he does the opposite.
He platforms them.
Yeah, he talks. Yeah, he gives them a
open.
platform.
I'm open to hearing dialogue.
Right. And then, but he will randomly say like, well, that's not true. And then he'll say something and like, he'll rebut it, but he's not like avidly arguing with these people about like,
that if he doesn't know the contradiction to whatever you're saying, he's not going to just say, that doesn't sound right or something. Right. He was just be like, that's interesting.
Right.
And doing that just allows whatever bullshit you said to like spread to the 60 million people that listen to him every week.
But at the same time, if you're Rogan and you're talking to these people and you don't know what you're talking about and you can't back it up, what would you say?
I would still challenge it.
Just be like, is that right?
Yeah, that's how I would do it. I was like, that doesn't sound right, or
like I don't know,
is that
but
right?
That
or like I don't know,
me,
but
right?
Like,
that sounds odd.
Give me something more because I'm
skeptical. I'm
very skeptical on what I'm not following. I'm skeptical on what you just stated.
He doesn't give any pushback at all. He just lets it go.
Yeah. For the most part. I mean,
I
won't say no pushback, but very little.
Very little.
Limited pushback.
Unless it's about like something like comedy where he knows what the fuck he's talking about, and then he'll go all in about that shit. But still, everything else he's just like,
you're fucked at that point. Like if you're full of shit, like he's gonna get you.
Right.
Word.
But yeah, I just I'm just to circle it back to the original conversation. I'm down to watch billionaires fight. It's like the next level in whatever the fuck is going on in this part of the simulation. Like, I'm all for it. Like, fuck it. Like there are crazy shit. There's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world, and submarines, fucking World War,
Russian coups. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of shit going on.
There's a ton of shit that's going on. That's just like. On our millennial bingo cards that we're just like fucking, we're just crossing off. And it's just like, at this point, like, again, I mean, we could talk about that too, because we talked about the submarine last week, or the submersible, I should say, that went missing. We didn't know what happened to it. But now we know that,
Dave called it.
Yes, we will say that Dave called that out. So kudos to you, bro. But the thing imploded, and now there's evidence that happened. Which, by the way, one of the things that fucking survived that was the Logitech controller that's on the bottom of the ocean.
The whole thing we focused on last week, just talking mad shit about, and it was just chilling there. Intact,
yeah, it's just chilling there, intact on the fucking ocean floor.
That's wild.
I'll give Logitech a second look now. Honestly, if I needed like a mic in a pinch or something, I wouldn't.
Better than Mad Cats.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
yes. But yeah, so like that was the big thing, and people are saying like, how can humans be so insensitive? Do you like, for those people who say that, like, I get it. It's, we make jokes out of everything. Like there's meme cultures, there's like everything, right? But do you understand the level, like the amount of shit that we have seen and gone through, and tragedies and all kind of shit that we've seen as millennials who are approaching 40s or we're in our 40s? The amount of shit that we've seen, all we can really do is it doesn't mean that we don't feel bad for anybody or anything like that. But do you not understand that if we don't laugh at it, we are just like, we will all be fucking miserable. We've seen so much shit. Like, sure, we haven't gone through a world war and people have gone through like some really bad shit, but we've seen just so much shit in our lifetime that we have to laugh at it now.
If we broke down at every tragedy that we saw, there wouldn't be any living or any sort of life to live, because it just seems to be one thing after another. So like if we and this, that's just our personalities, I think, where we like to we like to make jokes out of things. We have dark senses of humor. Like that's just how we do. At least personally, that's how I get by, bro. I have to laugh at something or I'll fucking cry. I'll fucking
That's
break
why
down.
we are insensitive culture, because of the shit, the dark humor that we have, and like the shit that we laugh at that probably shouldn't be laughed at, but that's just how we deal with it, and we laugh at it, and that's the one thing we have a few things in common, but that's one of the things that we share, bro. We just have to laugh at like the most ridiculous things. Or the darkest things, because we just have to laugh to keep from just going nuts. So
Word, how like speaking about the submersible, how like the fact that Ocean Gate posted a job for a submersible pilot while they were still looking for the fucking dudes at the bottom of the ocean.
You can't make that shit up, bro.
You cannot.
What was the pay? Was there a wage listed?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. I'd just be curious what that's going for these days.
You do have to be authorized to work in the U.S. though, and have a valid driver's license and passport.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
you have to have at least 60 hours.
They posted a fucking job. I mean, I'm. I like to be a little fair. They probably, were looking for more than just the one. But
subtle nod right there.
Yeah.
Blink 182, because that the dude, the stepson.
Word, the stepson that was he was trying to pop shit too, because I guess Cardi B posted some shit like talking shit about him going to the Blink 182 concert. He actually tried to come back at her.
He did,
and was talking shit about Cardi B in like a very cringy way.
And he was hitting on a porn star or some shit too.
OnlyFans star, an
OnlyFans star, and then Underwear was like, "Pray for me, for me and my family." Pray for my family.
He was simping for an OnlyFans. Then he's like, by the way, pray for my family. Shit's tight right now.
It doesn't, and he has like mad, like, I don't know if it's arrest or just,
some law issues. It was like harassing somebody or physically assaulting DJs, female DJs or something.
EDM DJs.
EDM DJs.
He's a piece of shit for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Restraining orders. That's what he has. He's got a couple of restraining orders.
If, ands, or buts about that.
DJs. I seen this photo where he's like got his arm like around the DJ, but he's got like the Keanu Reeves like 5 inches away.
Oh, he did the float?
Yeah, he did the float, and someone was like, "That looks like the largest court-mandated hand float I've ever seen."
Oh, probably was. They're not joking at all.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, to be completely honest, man, like so many people are going through so much shit. to just see. And I mean, I'm trying not to be inconsiderate to the people who lost their lives because it sucks. I really feel for that 19-year-old.
19-year-old, yeah. That's that.
The 19-year-old kid
I
whose
don't
dad
anymore
just pretty much.
after hearing his story.
What was the
I mean,
his story?
I feel for everyone that died. I'm not like trying to be that callous, but the assumption that we had before was like, oh, 19 years old, you probably didn't want to go on this shit. According to his mom, so according to his aunt said that he was nervous and scared and didn't want to go.
Right.
But according to his mom, she was the one that was supposed to go and let her son take the ride instead because he really wanted to. So unless she's trying to project her guilt,
right?
She said that he did want to go, and he took the ticket over her, and she was like, "Oh, I'll let you do it with your dad."
I read that he was supposed to set a Rubik's Cube record for solving it at the deepest depth.
I didn't see that.
If he had that in mind, if
yeah.
that was his plan, I don't see why he wouldn't have been stoked to go break a fucking record down there.
Fair.
Yeah,
and I feel like both could be true, right? He could be stoked to go and still be nervous and anxious about it.
Yeah, I think I'm about to take a flight anywhere, a domestic flight. I'm fucking nervous, bro. Like you're going in a submersible 2 miles below the ocean. Yeah, you're okay to be nervous. I get it. But
did y'all hear about the Mr. Beast shit?
Yeah, that too.
Yes, and the weird text where they're like, "Hey, why
it was very
this
weird."
blue?
So, for those that don't know, Mr. Beast posted some shit that he was recently invited to also go on that submersible for specifically on Ocean Gate to visit the Titanic. He turned it down.
Was it this trip?
I don't know that he would have. Yeah, it not necessarily would have been that exact trip.
Gotcha.
But it was,
the same
at some point in time around, I mean, the fact it could have survived this trip and it could have been on the one that he took is, I think the kind of take he was taking was like, apparently everyone's saying this thing was poorly designed. It was made of fucking carbon fiber. I don't know if you've seen that photo of like the monitor that was screwed into the wall.
I did.
Yeah.
So then there was a bunch of people challenging Mr. Beast because the screenshot that he shared was a blue bubble, and everybody was like, that doesn't make any sense. A blue bubble is what you sent. So you faked this. And then he came back and said that basically it was a
friend sent him a screenshot.
The friend sent him the screenshot from when he invited him and was like, yo, can you believe we were almost on this thing? So, yeah, who the fuck knows?
Who knows?
I'll believe Jimmy on that one. He's got no reason to front and try to jump in
not a
and
Mr.
be a
Beast
Me Tooer.
Hater.
No, I think he's for the most part pretty straightforward.
Good. He helps blind people see and shit, right? Like all that crazy shit that we read about.
There's controversy on that as well. But
I mean, if I was invited to be on that, it said he was invited earlier in the month. So yeah, he probably would have been on the next flight. It would have just been him and whoever was driving, and it would have imploded, and that would have been an epic way to go out on his end, I guess.
Hopefully,
can you imagine though if that were the case?
That would be wild.
That would be crazy,
if
right?
It was like famous people.
Yeah. Like this was news, and this was just the fact that they were just rich.
Yeah.
Like when the Titanic went down, there were famous people on that bitch. People were shook. Rich ass famous people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
All right, I wanted to ask you guys. There's a scenario here, and I'll lay it all out. But I wanted to play this for y'all and kind of go through the motions here because it's very big online right now, and people are divided on who's like whether what transpired was right, wrong, or what goes on. So I'll play the video for you, and then we'll kind of go from there. Let me see.
Get your food! Who? Get in the car! Who? Nay. Get your food! Get your food! If you say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out. Oh my God, I say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So he fucked her up. Like that was definitely a hard ass hit.
Mm-hmm.
You know
heard that.
Yeah, we all heard that. So, so here's the thing, right? So the woman who was hit, actually, on the woman on the right, her name is Carlisha Hood, and the gentleman on the left, his name is Jeremy Brown. So after that transpired, she got hit. You know, there was an argument. There's more videos online on this whole thing, and she obviously got hit pretty fucking hard, and that wasn't the last hit. So she proceeds to, she's obviously waiting in line in a restaurant, not sure how the argument started. Her 14-year-old son is waiting outside in the car. She text messages her son, tells him to come in because there's an issue. And so he comes in and he sees this dude punching his mom. His mom proceeds to tell him to shoot this man. He pulls out a gun. The 14-year-old kid pulls out a gun, shoots him in the back. He then starts to run. He chases him outside, shoots him again in the back in the parking lot. The mother then the mother then starts telling him to shoot the guy's girlfriend, to shoot Jeremy's girlfriend, because she was instigating the whole thing. The son then, she was trying to grab the gun. When he wouldn't do it, she tried to snatch the gun from him. He pushed her away and made her leave, and then they both bounced. Right? So
smart kid.
Obviously, you know, everything's on video, so they were both brought in. There are charges. The mother is actually has been charged, and she is facing murder charges. You know, there's $1 million $1 million bond for or bail, sorry, for Carlisha. And I believe the son also is I'm not sure what's going on with the son right now, but
he's
pretty
14, much, right? What can you do with a 14?
Because he's 14, she's actually, you know, taking the brute force of that because she is asking him to do this. Yeah. Now sure. the internet is up in arms and saying that, you know, they're trying to set up GoFundMe accounts and saying that because of that punch, she was or he was in the right to protect his mom, and that they should not be charged, neither one of them, because she was attacked. Blah blah blah. This all happened in Chicago. So knowing that and knowing what happened afterward, do you think that that they should be charged for that, or they should be able to get away with that?
Did Jeremy die when he got shot? Is he alive?
Yes.
Is he did die.
He
dead. Shot that dude.
He's dead.
He's dead. Okay.
Yes. She is currently in jail for murder.
So if I have a gun
mm-hmm.
and I see my mom getting her ass beat, I'm 14. She tells me to shoot this dude to save her, like she's getting assaulted. Sure. I'm gonna shoot the dude. I'm gonna make sure that he stops hurting my mom. Now to chase him outside, like to leave, to shoot anybody else, to point a gun at anybody else, whether they were instigating or not. I want to get my mom out of immediate danger. Once my mom is out of immediate danger, I'm dropping the pill. Like, what, let me talk to the cops. Let's figure this thing out. I'm not going crazy.
They did not, though. They fled.
They fled. They fled. I'm just like, this is just me. I'm picturing me in this position.
Yes.
Like, I'm probably shaking. I'm probably going to fucking throw up. Like, that's a wild, wild place for a 14-year-old. And I don't know anything about this kid, but I'm saying my mom's in danger. I have a gun. I'm going to make sure she stops getting hurt. And then we'll figure out everything after that. So I can't fault him for that part, but the way the rest of it went, I can't say that I'm on board with. But that's a crazy everything's crazy. It's probably happening a mile a second. Like, how do you even fault anybody for doing anything in that kind of situation? That's tough.
And I get where everyone is coming from, right? So yeah, I mean, I see anybody, if I have a gun on me. First of all, what's a 14-year-old doing with a gun, right?
Another question that I didn't raise, but still.
Right. What's a 14-year-old doing with a gun anyway?
That's a very good question. Actually,
obviously, it is not. It's not legal for him to use it. There's no permits or anything. Right. I don't know what the laws are in Chicago for stuff like that. But knowing Chicago's gang history and history of violence, I'm pretty sure it's probably not extremely lenient when it comes to that. And we'll talk about that in a second. But a 14-year-old with a pistol. How did he get that pistol? He's gonna protect his mom. Sure, he comes in and dude's punching his mom, shoots him one time in the back. Dude flees. My thought is the fact that they left the restaurant pursuing him into the parking lot. Granted, chances are, I mean, the defense on that would possibly be
he's going to get a pistol.
He's going to get a gun or something like that. You can even say like, hey, he said he was going to go get a gun, and possibly, go that route. But leaving the premises,
you're pursuing at that point.
You're pursuing at that point.
You're the assailant, I feel like.
And then the mom fucks up, and under the heat of, in full anger,
right?
She's like, yo, shoot her too. Because she was instigating this whole shit.
She could have had head trauma from getting her ass beat. She don't know what the fuck she's saying. Like a good lawyer.
I mean, you get hit, maybe. Bro. You're running on adrenaline, but still, that's still no excuse. And the internet is torn. They're setting up, like I said earlier, they're setting up GoFundMe accounts and whatnot, trying to get these people out of jail because that is the argument, right? He was protecting his mother. At all costs. And do I think this 14-year-old should go to prison? No. But the way she was telling him to go do these things, that's what got her in trouble.
Like, it's almost like a cult leader. You have an influence that isn't fair at that point. Yeah. Like, that's you're going to do what your parents tell you to. And if your mom says this, right, exactly. Like, my mom tells me to do something, you're going to do it, or you're going to get your fucking ass beat. Like, you fucking do what mom says, you do what dad says. So, like, none of this can be on that kid. I don't care what happens. Like, the fact that he was even in this position is still comes down to the mom, which, I mean, makes sense because you're the one, said she was the one that's actually, taking the heat for it.
No, and he hit her hard, bro.
He did. Yeah. We heard it. That was just the one shot. You said there were multiple shots, right?
Yeah. But then again, I'm thinking like, this is just the one video that I saw, right? And there he's telling her, yo, just grab your food.
Right.
Grab your food. Like, get out of here. Get the fuck away from me. I'm about to hit you. Grab your food. And she's still just like talking and just like egging him on and stuff. And then he shouldn't have hit her, obviously, but I don't know. It looked like it was late at night. Alcohol was probably involved. Any man that hits a woman, and whether you've had alcohol in your system, you're a piece of shit.
Yep.
But then it just comes down to, we got to look at the full picture. But anyway, I'm going to read what the Chicago stance is on self-defense or the use of force in defense of person, right? It says a person can use force against another if he or she reasonably believes that it is necessary to defend himself, herself, or another against an individual's imminent use of unlawful force. A person another.
That's
yes.
Clutch right there.
Yep. A person can use deadly force only if he or she reasonably believes that such force is necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to him, her, or another, to prevent a felony from being committed.
Multiple beatings.
Great bodily harm.
I think he's justified.
He is justified. Yeah.
I think it's justified.
I would say he is.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's after reading the law, right?
Yeah.
He's justified because there's no way that that man looked like what was his Jeremy Brown, 32. So if a 14-year-old comes in and a 32-year-old man is beating the shit out of his mom, there's no way that he would be able to fight him off.
Step up to him, yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So he so shooting him would be the it's really the part that fucked up.
I mean, he's gonna get a charge on the illegal gun.
Yeah, the pistol charge for sure.
Yeah,
sure. Mainly the biggest thing. Let me see. Following Brown into the parking lot. Keep shooting Brown.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
Yeah,
Said
that's
what I was saying.
And keep shooting.
Pursuing.
That's where that's no longer a threat.
That's no longer defense. You're attacking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at that point.
And that's what they're saying. Brown ran from the store as Hood's son allegedly continued to fire at him. The teen and his mother followed Brown into the parking lot where she told her son to keep shooting Brown and to kill him. So
okay, yeah, no, that's not justified.
No.
Then when the teen stopped shooting, his mother allegedly told him to shoot Brown's girlfriend and then tried to take the gun from her son. That's when he pushed her away and they both left in a car and drove home.
Okay, so he knew the girlfriend didn't have to be shot. He at least had that much sense about him.
Somewhat. Yeah. But the mom was tripping.
For sure. Because she just got her ass beat. She got punked. Like, she got to think, like, in that mindset that
everybody
she's in.
I'm go back to the car. I'm shooting everybody.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Yeah. So it looks like it says Hood. I'm trying to see what the charges are. Hood and her son surrendered to police. She was also charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Hood's son faces counts of first-degree murder, aggravated unlawful use of a weapon, and unlawful possession of a firearm. And he is, it says that Hood is held on $3 million bail. So the mom is Hood.
A little OD.
Yeah,
$3 million.
The mom is held on $3 million bail, and the son. He may not. I don't think he's gonna get the murder charge. Even though he pursued her.
He's gonna get in trouble.
He's definitely doing some time though because of the gun.
He's got to do time. There's no way they're not gonna.
But he's not gonna go murder one. They're not gonna execute this fucking kid. Like
he'll probably he'll be in juvie until
dude did die.
He'll be in juvie until he's 18.
Dude died.
Yes.
Yeah. He passed away.
Yeah,
he wasn't dead, but when they left the scene,
more responsible than homie.
Yeah,
I feel.
Facts.
It was. Yeah, I just wanted to bring this up because it's all over the internet. People are talking about it, and it's it's up in the air. People are saying like they don't deserve to go to jail for this.
No, they definitely do.
Yeah, no, time
under the law, I'm gonna have to say. I mean, yes, I get that's where I lie on that. I'm like, I get what you're saying. Like, he shouldn't have to go to jail because he was defending his mom. But at the end of the day,
but once they left the fucking restaurant,
he was no longer a threat. He was shot in the back. Once he ran away, that's when you grab your mom. I don't give a fuck what she's saying. You both get in the car and you fucking bounce.
Exactly.
Get to a safe place, call the police, like, yo, this is what happened. I grabbed her gun, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a way that you have to do shit, and I don't give a fuck what you feel like is right, what is wrong. Whatever he was doing to your mother, like, sure, but you neutralize the situation. He was no longer attacking your mother.
Yeah.
If
you don't even gotta leave. Just call 911 right there.
Right. If he was, I would. At 14, you're fucking shook, right? Going through all of this.
At any age, you're shook, bro.
Any age, you're shook.
But leaving the scene of a crime just makes you look guilty.
That's why I said I would probably drive down the road because I don't know that he didn't go to grab his gun. I'm not following him.
That's fair.
I'm not following him into the parking lot because I know that that's going to make shit worse.
A decent lawyer could say that, though, that you don't know what this dude was going to get when he left.
That's fair.
Exactly.
That's fair.
He could have been going for his pistol, but
sure.
Easily he could have pushed her into the car like, yo, let's get the fuck out of here. I don't know if he's blah, 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 but you know. Who
just have you ever been around a fight
sucks,
like
man.
you're in a bar and you see a fight like happen that you're not even involved with and your heart sort of like elevates a little bit because shit's getting crazy, like, Now imagine that you're part of that, and your mom's getting her ass beat. You shot somebody. Like, I can't imagine the state of mind during some of that.
Bro, you are in a car. You're 14, right? I remember when I was 14, like 13, 14 years old. I'm chilling there in a car at night waiting for my mom to go grab some food, and she calls me or text messages me telling me that this dude is attacking her to come in with a gun, bro. I'm like, what? Adrenaline running, like, you don't know.
Right.
Like, you don't know what to
Especially
fucking do.
Chicago.
Yeah, and it's Chicago. Chicago is not like the safest fucking place. So it's a lot. It's definitely a lot, man. We'll see how this all pans out, but honestly, I just feel for that 14-year-old kid who was thrust into a situation that he's gonna have to deal with that shit. For his entire life, he's gonna have to deal with that night.
Yeah, his entire life, bro. You took a man's life.
On a lighter note, switching back to
yes.
Just a real quick, because I just seen this pop up. Lex Friedman, the let's just say notable podcast host, he apparently posted on Twitter about 30 minutes ago or so that he just had a impromptu jiu-jitsu training session with Elon Musk. And he was very impressed with his strength, power, skill, and feet on the ground. It was epic. And he showed a couple photos that they took. So it might not be just because, like we said,
Zuck might not run away with it.
Zuck might not run away with it because Elon got that mass of body that he might not need as much training, because Zuck had to build his way up. He had to, he's been training jiu-jitsu, but also had to amass some body because he was a little skinny nerd.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gotten a little bigger, but I would say Elon probably got like 50 pounds on him minimum.
Easy.
Yeah.
Hey, and let's not forget, man, Elon probably has a little bit of that spectrum strength.
True that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He probably has some strength that we don't really know about.
That's fair.
I don't know.
That's fair.
You're gonna lift them up and just and then this whole shit is over.
I want to make sure we do Hollywood talk, excuse me. But we can't not do. I mean, we've been talking for a really long time on shit. We cannot talk about this. We can't go this whole show without talking about what the fuck happened in Russia, real quick, because that shit was like, again, like you mentioned earlier.
It's just one thing after another.
Another fucking we're like, at first I was like, oh, this is just some shit going down, and then all of a sudden I was like, holy shit, yo, are we really gonna just is Russia going through a civil war right now?
Before you go into that, I was just telling Dave, right, because I shared a submersible meme with him. And he just gave the thumbs up. So I was like, oh, he's over these. So I told him, I was like, oh, you over these? He's like, once this happened or whatever, like, it's just, I was over it.
Once they got murked, it seemed like there was some closure to it. So
there was some closure to it. So, and my response to him was like, yeah, I predict maybe another 24, maybe 48 hours of memes. And then the next thing is going to come. And the focus is all going to, and then within 24 hours.
Within a day, dude. Not even 12, within 12 hours, I feel like, bro.
Yeah.
There was a coup happening in Russia, and we were off the fucking submarine for a long,
So,
It was like that one meme somebody posted was like, on this weekend, I've quit being an expert on submersibles, and I'm now pivoting towards being an expert on international relations.
Russian coups. It was Russian coups.
Yeah.
Russian coups. International affairs.
Yeah.
So please fill us in on this shit.
The meme cycle is very fast. So yeah, what happened? Hard to describe. Because one, we don't really know, but
we know what the U.S. media has been told.
Exactly. And there was Twitter reporters or whatever internationally. They were touting themselves as being better than the MSM, but Basically, this dude Prigozhin or something like that. He leads the Wagner militia group, private militia. They've been used.
They're mercenaries.
Mercenaries, basically, like Blackwater.
Yeah.
So they're being used by Russia in this Ukrainian war, and the leader of Wagner has been pretty critical recently over the last 6 months or plus of Russia's military and the directions that they're taking and why they're losing the war and technically actually not. He never actually said anything against Putin. He's only spoken out against the Secretary of Defense and the generals that are leading this Ukrainian war.
Smart.
Which apparently is why he renegotiated this whole thing. So yeah, we most of us woke up Saturday morning in the U.S. to find out that Wagner was headed towards one of the I mean, this isn't a real news show, so I don't have like the notes on this. But,
all the details.
There's a town in Russia, so they basically left Ukraine to go back towards Russia because they had been protesting. Apparently, there was a march. They were protesting because they weren't getting enough supplies. They felt like the Russian military was shorting them on supplies and ammunition and things. So they were marching back, and then they got into an actual conflict with the Russian military. Apparently, the Russian military missiled them or bombed them or something, and that's when they decided, well, then we're like going all in on Russia, and we're just gonna fucking like. I guess he never really said we were gonna take over, but they kind of basically said we're gonna, take over leadership of the army. I think is what they were really trying to do. And so just as quick as all of that shit started building up, so they took over a town and a military base. Someone that I was watching basically said, compare this to if Blackwater, the private military militia that we all know and love from Iraq and Afghanistan, if Blackwater was in Mexico fighting the cartels and decided they would march north back into the U.S. and just take over San Diego, San Diego's military base, the Air Force and Navy base there, with no fight, because these guys took over this Russian military base and there was no like damage really done. I think
no blood was shed, right?
No blood was shed.
The quote.
There was one conflict that did happen. I think like 10 or 15 Russians did die from some like air conflict. But yeah, there was no bloodshed when they took over this military base, which again just shows like morale in Russia is really low for this whole Ukrainian war.
They're done. They're over it for sure.
Putin called him a backstabber. We thought this shit was going to go down. There was people saying that Putin had fled to St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
They deny that, but there's receipts on the planes. And out of nowhere, Lukashenko from Belarus ends up being the one that negotiates this stand down. This dude, I think he's fucking crazy, honestly. Like, you dare stand up against Mother Russia and Daddy Putin, and then you're gonna take a deal that says, "Oh, you get granted amnesty." Fuck out of here! Amnesty does not guarantee you won't get pushed out of a window. Like, that's how Putin.
Yeah, you get poisoned.
Detractors
you're
go.
fucked.
You either get a poison teed, or you get pushed out of a window accidentally.
Yep. You fall out of a window.
Yeah. There's no way in the world I would ever take the decision to go against Putin and not go all the way.
Right. I was going to say, you have to, and that's what I was hoping for. I think that's what all of us were hoping for, right? We wanted Putin to get fucking dragged through the streets, and they pull out of Ukraine and they're like, this was fucked up, and the whole you know, it was supposed to be this whole miraculous resolution, and they fucking bailed on it within like an hour of shit. The memes stopped. I was so butthurt, dude. Like I
know. Yeah.
I really
was
wanted
more
to keep
butthurt
going.
about the memes
I really
dying
was.
so quick because they ended so fast. I don't know that it would have been much better. He's still like he hates the West. Like this dude is not like a friend of ours in any way. So it's not like shit would have been cool.
Just pull out of Ukraine.
But they probably would have pulled out of Ukraine at least.
Yeah, that's all I honestly fucking wanted from that, dude. Like they don't have to be our friend. Just leave the fucking Ukrainian people alone, bro.
Facts, yo. We're trying to get our listeners back up.
That's what's up. Our fucking Ukrainian population has really waned since this whole war. So if we could stop that, that would be.
Please,
Fun
for our
times.
sake, guys.
For our sake, for our
trying to sell some merch.
So
Let
selfish.
these people listen to insensitive culture.
So selfish in the Ukraine.
All right, y'all want to jump into some Hollywood? We don't got.
Yes, please. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I always say we don't have a lot, but we always have enough to talk about.
We make it a lot.
I mean, as long as we're not talking about like the Fast X franchise or
Right.
some
We don't have time
shit.
for that.
We're not. No, that's not what we're talking about.
What was it? Captain America changed its
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Yeah, Johnny's just a hater on notes that I put in there. Just because it's in the notes doesn't mean I bring it up. But
He likes to mock the notes.
yes,
Big
yes.
note mocker.
Sounds
German.
I mean,
The note mocker.
the notes marker.
The note mocker.
Yeah, so biggest news right now is we have confirmation that we have a new Superman / Clark Kent and Lois Lane for James Gunn's Superman Legacy. David Cornswet, is that how you pronounce it? David Cornswet, who is
Corn sweat.
fairly
I was saying corn sweat.
Corn sweat.
Cornswet. I mean,
Like it's
corns
a
do
cob
get
and
wet.
it's sweaty. It's a corn sweat.
Corn sweat.
So he is going to be the new Clark Kent, younger Clark Kent. We were joking that he actually looks like a young Henry Cavill.
A little bit. We can see it.
Which, in my opinion, I mean, it still holds up to the fact that James Gunn put that out a while back, saying that everything is going to lead up to Kingdom Come, and they are older. So casting someone who actually looks like Henry Cavill to then lead up to something where there is an older version of this character who may end up being Henry Cavill down the road. So it all kind of tracks, right? And then for Lois Lane, we have Rachel Brosnahan. I'm missing a whole letter there.
Yeah.
I suck at that. Rachel Brosnahan, she's been cast as Lois Lane, and she is most familiar or most notable from playing Mrs. Maisel on the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, yeah.
That's right.
So, and I love her on that. She's witty. I'm assuming Lois Lane, knowing that James Gunn wrote this, she is gonna have so much banter. And I think Miss Maisel is going to just end up being Lois Lane in this. So, but I love her in that part. So I'm excited for it. I think it's a good casting. He looks the part for sure.
Yeah.
I have no idea how this man can act though.
Yeah, I looked up his IMDb after I saw the casting, and I tried to find shit that I recognized him from, and I really didn't. I didn't know him from anything in particular. He's in a show right now called Pearl, which I'm also not familiar with, but, you know, chicks are going crazy over him in this show apparently. So he's probably going to be a good Clark Kent, young, attractive looking dude. Like you said, a young Henry Cavill. And it's some James Gunn writing, bro. Like it's probably going to fuck. I can't say with any sort of certainty, but I'm glad it's out of the way. Now we need some fucking Fantastic Four casting. Yeah,
He's still
pretty
what?
sure. Yeah, writing, directing.
Yeah, he's
giving it the Tarantino treatment.
He was actually just writing it, and after writing it, he decided that he wanted to direct. So he's still writing and directing it.
Oh wait, Pearl is the movie.
Oh, it's not a show. It's a movie.
No, yeah, Pearl is. When you said Pearl,
Yeah, that's
I
the
was
movie
like,
Jonni was into.
Yeah, that was the prequel sequel to
X.
To X.
Oh, Mia Goth.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
So
I mean,
apparently he
I didn't
plays
recognize that.
the projectionist.
Yeah, he was on House of Cards. I mean, that's pretty big. He was on Elementary.
I guess if you watch,
We Own
did you
This
guys watch
City.
Elementary?
I think my girl did.
I did for a little bit. It was
Yeah.
dope. But like I don't
Yeah, he
remember
was
him.
very
from anything. He wasn't
low.
No, those are the biggest
He was
shows.
on one episode of House of Cards, one episode
okay.
of Elementary.
He was on. He's on the HBO show We Own This City, which I started and not sure why I didn't
We own
keep
this.
it going, but it's starring John Bernthal.
John Bernthal.
Oh, I
Okay.
forgot about this.
Yes.
I
This is
forgot
that
about that too.
Baltimore show, right?
Yes,
The Baltimore PD show.
Yes, I think I
I
started
forgot
with
about
my
that.
girl, and maybe she wasn't too into it, so it just fell to the wayside. But he's on that show as well, so he's in a couple things that are
He's done
on the
some
come
things,
up.
which is
Yeah, he's
cool.
on the come up.
And this is the real come up now.
I mean,
right?
this
If
is now
fucks,
he's about to be launched into
he's-
stardom
he's
if he does well.
fast-tracked.
If he does well,
I don't see it not
if-
doing well. Come on, it's James Gunn, son.
yeah. Oh, he's also on his upcoming, or on his upcoming. He has obviously Superman Legacy, but he also is going to be in the sequel to Twister.
Twisters.
Yeah,
Look at that.
Twisters.
It's pretty innovative. Twister is just throwing the S on there.
I
Damn.
know.
It was like Alien.
These
and
brilliant
Aliens.
minds. Yeah, exactly. Fucking
Yeah.
who would have thought to
I
pluralize
mean, he's a
it?
Juilliard trained actor. I'm sure he's great.
I'm
I'm sure he's great.
He'll be
I
fine.
mean,
Juilliard for Superman. I'm sure he'll be okay. Come on.
I think he can get it.
Yeah, he's got this. He'll be all right.
honestly, at
Good
the
for
end of
you,
the day,
David.
I like James Gunn is a great eye for talent when it comes to
Agreed,
movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Guardians is filled with individuals who I've never heard of, never seen. I mean, we have some stars in there, but there's if you look at Homelander, he just has an eye for talent in his
Homelander?
movies. So not Homelander. Fuck, I
Peacemaker.
always do that. Peacemaker. Yes, I always do
okay.
that. I always do
I
that.
was like, where did
Peacemaker
Homelander-
and Suicide Squad. Like the most random people that he puts together, and they all just fucking
The
work,
Suicide
bro.
Squad. Let's get it right.
Is it the Suicide? Okay, yeah, the Suicide Squad.
The.
Correct.
Yeah.
The unofficial sequel to the original one that sucked ass.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, I agree with that, and then and that adds more validity to what we discussed prior to that information coming out, which was currently the quote unquote short list to play Lex Luthor in Superman Legacy has come down to the Skarsgård brothers, right? Alexander and Bill.
Imagine your brother, you and your brother going up for a possibly career-altering role like that. That's got to be tough. Like, you want your brother to succeed. You love him, I'm sure. But at the same time, you want that shit for yourself, too. You want to be that dude. Like, I don't know. I don't have a brother, so it's a little bit different for me. But, like, I feel like if my brother got it and I didn't, I might be a little butthurt there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got to.
You
There's
have
no
to
way
be,
you're
right?
not.
Yeah.
Like
No matter-
Thanksgiving, you're like, oh, yeah, hey, what's up? Happy Thanksgiving. Fuck face.
You're like happy, but also not.
You're butthurt at the same
Yeah,
time.
it's
And,
like-
like, you
I mean,
can't
it's
take
like,
it
it's
out
kinda
on your
like,
brother.
The two brothers from the NFL that we talked about, right? That both had a
Oh,
shot
the
at
Super
going to
Bowl
the Super Bowl.
brothers. Yeah. Why can't I think of their fucking names?
I don't remember who the fuck they were, but they were obviously not important enough. But yeah, it's similar. It's like
Yeah.
you're happy, but you're not really happy.
No, you're not happy. You're fucking
Didn't the
pissed,
Mannings,
bro.
didn't they face each other off in the Super Bowl too?
No, the Mannings
no.
didn't. No.
Not
That would have been crazy, though.
I thought they did. Yeah, my money's on Bill, bro. I'm a huge fan. I've said it many times on this show.
I think
He's the youngest, right?
He's a notch above where Alexander is, even though he is a little bit younger. I feel like, like we've talked about this, where he gets the juicy roles, he gets to play the dark roles, and Alexander gets some good ones here and there, but he just doesn't. Especially lately, you don't see a lot from Alexander Skarsgård. Like it's all about Bill fucking crushing it, and Pennywise is fucking hot right now. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't see it not going to Bill, honestly. If that is the case, if it is actually between those two, like any casting director has to be like, yo, my man Bill here, I think he's just a little bit above. Like I said, Alexander has the chops.
He naturally just looks menacing. Like he and we talked about it. Alex has been in roles where he has been a menacing dude, and he can definitely play the part. It's just Bill has that look, right? And we've seen him in the latest John Wick. He was the villain in that, and he plays a great villain. I mean,
he's very menacing. Very menacing.
Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, in Barbarian, even, right? He ended up not being, he was a person where you were asking, like, yo, is this person trustworthy? Is he not trustworthy? Like, you just don't know whether he was trustworthy or not, because it's Bill Skarsgård. Like, you know what I mean? So he just
like
has
when you
that.
see Gary Busey in a movie, you're like, he's gonna be a scumbag here, probably, right?
Right. Except a much better actor.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, I'm not putting Gary Busey on the Bill Skarsgård level, but just, like you get that inkling about that.
Yeah. But that's how he plays, right? He's Castle Rock, the devil all the time. He just has that look about him. So and just looking at their photos side by side, I can see him
with
playing that bald head and being Lex Luthor. I can see it. Alexander Skarsgård, not as much.
He's so tall.
He would play the role.
And
he just doesn't look it. Yeah,
No,
he just doesn't
doesn't.
look like Lex Luthor. So my money's on Bill Skarsgård, but they're, that family is just fucking talented. So so either one, I think
Stellan Skarsgård, the papa.
they can fucking hire him to be fucking Lex Luthor, and he would
let's make Stellan. Yeah, fuck the brothers. They don't deserve that
make
shit.
their dad.
Give it to their dad.
Word.
Is
but
it just the two of them, or do they have another brother?
They might. He works at like Home Depot in Sweden somewhere. He's not very.
Do they have another acting brother?
Oh, I don't know.
It's just the two of them and Stellan.
I think it is. I think it is just the three of them. Let's say.
There's Gustav Skarsgård as well.
He's a mechanic in Stockholm, Sweden. What does he do? Does it say?
I'm trying to see if no. Oh yeah. Once I look at him, I've seen him in some stuff.
A lot of
Are they like
he's
the
famous
Danish
for
Wayans,
Vikings,
or where are they from?
He's famous for Vikings and Westworld.
He was in Vikings, like with Ragnar Lothbrok, and
he was in Air.
What?
Yeah, Vikings, Westworld, The Way Back.
Wait, I gotta see this guy. What the fuck's his name?
Gustav.
I'm not even 100% sure that he's one of their brothers. So I'm gonna look
at the son of Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, no, he's
brother.
absolutely. Yeah, no, I remember him. He
okay,
was Loki
Bill,
or Floki.
Walter,
Floki.
Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
He was Floki in the Vikings show, which I watched for like a bunch of seasons until it went in a direction that I didn't agree with, and then I stopped watching it. But yeah, no, that dude. Yeah, he's definitely one of the brothers, but yeah,
he's in fucking
definitely
Westworld.
The
he's Carl Strand in Westworld.
He's in 10 episodes of Westworld.
I mean,
the
still
fact
there.
that we barely remember him is
sure
not a good sign.
But yeah, there's there's a ton of Skarsgård. It's tough to see which ones are the siblings, but it's definitely those three are.
There's something in the Skarsgård blood.
It's the three of them.
It's the three of them? Okay.
Yeah.
And Stellan.
Yeah, so yeah, man, that's they're definitely it's in the genes, bro. How good is his acting?
He's good.
There's another one, Walter. It's
Vault.
4. Yeah.
Nah, fuck that.
Okay.
Dude. He doesn't get a pass from me.
He has not been.
He's the youngest.
anything.
It looks like he looks like he's a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably a bitch.
Yeah, he's probably gonna grow up and fucking
He's in some
kill
Beck
these
show.
roles too.
I mean, if he's one of their siblings, he's gonna do something.
I'm
Clearly.
sure. I'm guaranteeing eventually he will. Yeah, he will be something.
Either
At
way,
least
man,
like
if
that.
Bill Skarsgård gets that though, I
Yeah.
don't see him not
gets
getting
the
that.
nod.
I think it's a shoo-in in my opinion. But again, if Alexander Skarsgård gets it, I won't be mad at that choice. He's a great actor. The only thing.
Let's hear it. Give it to us. Come on.
Yeah.
Get it out.
Because we talked about it. Alexander Skarsgård, he's mainly famous, like what shot him into stardom was his role on True Blood.
Yes.
And from there, obviously he's had better roles and trying to get out of that. I don't think he's actually like surpassed that. I think he's
No.
still been trying to
Reach
really
that
make a name
same-
for himself, whereas like Bill has time and time again.
Yeah.
And
What do you think about Alexander? What do you think of when you think of Alexander Skarsgård?
bro,
Block? Tell us.
I used to think of True Blood until I saw his scene in Zoolander as one of the dudes that was having the
gasoline fight, one of the male
the
models?
gasoline fight. Yeah, and he looks so cheesy and corny that coming from being the badass in True Blood to go into that was just like he's tarnished now. Like
No,
that
that's true.
badass
That's
imagery
true.
of him is just tarnished.
Because we all saw Zoolander before True Blood, obviously,
Yes,
but we didn't
yes.
know who that
didn't know it was
was. So we
him,
watched
correct.
True
No,
Blood. We see,
They were no names.
he's Eric Northman, and then you're like, yeah, no, he was in Zoolander, and you're like, what? And then you go back and watch
Yeah.
it, and you're like, it's
And then
the
you hear the
fruitiest
"Wake
fucking
me
role
up
ever. Yeah.
before we go." Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the theme song that I hear in my head as I see Alexander Skarsgård do anything after I realize that. So
A lot of Wham.
Isn't it weird that his character on True Blood was Eric Northman, and then
And
he's
he played the
in
Northman.
The Northman.
Yeah. I thought that while I was watching it, but yeah. That
And
is
how-
very
He
how
was
was the
also in
Northman?
Succession. Not a show that I watched, but he was in 10 episodes in Succession.
Yeah, vague, barely. He didn't have the hugest role, but yeah.
sure. All right. Well,
Yeah, so
The money's
just,
on Bill, baby.
solidifying his downward trajectory.
Yeah, it hasn't been trending upward, that's for sure. This is plateaued. I think he might have plateaued. If he doesn't get this Lex Luthor role, that's probably the last we're going to hear from Alexander Skarsgård. I'm not going to lie.
I think he got off of that. He did the whole thing. He got the phone call like, "Yep, you're
You're in the
shooing.
running.
You're in the running. We're just like trying to make it." And he was like super fucking excited. He's just like, "Yes." And then he calls up his brother and he's like, "Yo, I think I may have this and this is going to change my career." And then Bill's like,
Bill knows he's got it already.
I also auditioned for this and they told me I'm a shoo-in, and it's just like, fuck.
Yeah. It's like you and Danny going up for the same role.
No, that's so awesome, bro.
Right.
So happy for you, bro, but you want to fight him at the fucking same time.
Oh man. But Alexander Skarsgård, I don't know if they've gotten to that point where he's just like, yeah, I'm a shoo-in against my brother.
I don't even know how close they are.
Bill's
They
not-
could never
Bill's not
fucking
even that
talk
good.
ever.
Bill's not even that good.
Yeah, they're just talking. Now
Right,
they're
because
tearing
he
each
fucking
other
played
down.
a clown. Because he played a clown.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call
Talking
Dad.
shit
I'm gonna
about
talk to him
Pennywise.
about it.
And Stellan knows that Bill has the bigger chops, and he knows that.
I can
Bill's
hear
the
his
better
voice right
actor.
now telling him you're not shit. You know,
You're not
shit. Yeah, you ain't. I'm sorry, son. I'm gonna have to. Bill.
I think
Bill's
of him
taking that
in
role.
Chernobyl. If you watch Chernobyl on HBO, Stellan Skarsgård was fucking.
I
money
think
in
I
that.
think every time they go to talk to him, he's coming out of the mud like he did in fucking in Dune. No, but he's just coming out of the mud and he's just like, "You suck,
You suck.
Alex. You suck." But anyway, all right. So yeah, it was pretty short Hollywood. Unless you want to talk about some Fast X, because I'm down for that. Johnny,
Ooh,
you fucking
yeah,
piece
let's
of
get
shit.
Fuck that.
into
We
it.
got to cover the Flash.
Yeah, that's pretty much where we're going with that. Yeah, we're gonna discuss the Flash. I mean, might as well do it now because it's so late in the episode. But
let's do it.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Yeah, guys, so we're going to be talking about The Flash, and there may be some spoilers, they may be not, but we're probably going to end up spoiling the shit out of this. So if you're not into that, or you are, expecting to see The Flash in its entirety and you don't want to be spoiled, I say walk away now, come back after you've seen The Flash, and then see how much we made sense, how much we didn't make sense, and whether you give a shit or not about what we say. So, but thanks for listening. Peace. So yeah, The Flash. It is
The Flash.
It is freshest in your mind, Dave.
It is.
So please let me know how you felt about The Flash.
As you guys know, I
The audience
with the
doesn't
Flash very heavily. I was obviously I had high expectations going into this. This is something that we have been talking about on this pod for at least the last year, on and off. I knew that I fucked with Ezra as the Flash based even on the, shitty Justice League movies. I was like, yo, this dude's funny. Like, I fuck with this. And so then, hearing about the Flash, hearing about what the storyline was, you had your Michael Keaton thrown in there with some Batman nostalgia. Obviously, I was hyped for it. Didn't go opening weekend, but managed to go, sort of the weekend after, which was nice because the theater was a little more low key. But I thought the movie, dude, I thought it was funny. I thought it was emotional. I thought, it had good cameos, maybe a little overboard with some of the bullshit.
And they knocked some off.
What was that?
And they took out a bunch of cameos.
Did they?
There were a ton of other cameos that were supposed to make it, and they slimmed that down to what you saw.
We will have to touch on that because depending on what those cameos were, they could have fucked or they could have detracted from it. So maybe that was a good call. Yeah. I still think that Ezra Miller, legal troubles aside, that's not factoring into the movie that I watched. I wasn't thinking about that. I laughed a lot at him, and to give him props for acting against yourself, which is what he was doing, like in that movie, that has to be a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
And I thought that he pulled it off brilliantly, whether that was him, whether that was the editing. That cannot be easy to do. Like, he was on some Parent Trap shit where, I thought there were two Lindsay Lohans. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, when I was younger and I watched that shit, I thought, does this chick have twins? Like, she does a really good job. Like, I thought they were two different people. He was fantastic. And I didn't think it was too funny. Like, it had enough emotion. It wasn't like, Love and Thunder, where it was like, okay, now they're trying to be funny, Mr. Funny Guy every fucking 5 seconds. Sure. And granted, he's a smart ass, Ezra Miller is. But I thought that it was balanced. It hasn't done well at the box office. There's a number of reasons it hasn't done well. And new rock stars kind of break it down. Eric Voss, he did a good breakdown. 100%. I've heard from multiple people that they weren't going to see it because of Ezra in particular, which if they said it, there's probably a whole bunch of people that clearly have not wanted to go see it. I was very happy. I left the theater super stoked. The end credits were cool. I was not disappointed or let down on the whole by the movie. It wasn't the perfect movie. It wasn't the best movie I've ever seen. It wasn't the best comic movie. It was a very good time, and I can't wait for it to come to digital streaming July 18th is what I read earlier.
That's pretty quick.
A little something there.
Look, it's probably because it technically
didn't
bombed,
do very
right?
good. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The downside to that is I heard that James Gunn was saying that if it did well, or DC, he is DC, but they were saying that if The Flash did well, that they were going to move forward with plans for a Batman Beyond movie starring Michael Keaton. But that's not the case.
Yeah,
now.
I don't
So
think we need that.
Is
I think we got
trash?
enough Michael Keaton. I think we got a nice little taste of what he's been up to, and that
If we
whole
don't
thing.
see Michael Keaton up to that point, though, I'd still welcome it. But I've been wanting to watch that movie for a long time. So
We've just been
I would
talking
prefer
about it
George
so
Clooney.
much.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
You
The
think what?
Clooney at the end too. That was different.
Yeah. He said that was different. I went in opposite. And not that I went in with low expectations. I was trying to taper my expectations on this movie because I did not know how this was gonna go. People were saying that it was good, but then you have the mixed things. I was hearing some people saying like it wasn't that great, but there are a lot of haters out there that just want to hate these movies just to hate them. You know what I mean?
The early reviews comparing it to The Dark Knight. Like
I know, yeah,
our
and that's
hopes
a bit
were
much.
set up
That's a bit
so
much.
high. It was definitely a bit much, but still, like we didn't have any context to it. All
Sure.
we're getting is these third-party reviews of early screenings, and they were fire.
Yeah. The cameos were dope. Like you said, apparently there's new technology that was added to this movie that made it possible for Ezra to be interacting with himself. And yes, they did great as far as being believable as two different versions of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
A very young Ezra or a very young Flash, is it Barry Allen?
Barry Allen.
A very young version where he was like kiddish to being the more mature version of it, of the character. And I thought it was great. In the beginning, the whole saving the cat sequence and all
the
that stuff.
Baby in the microwave. And
I felt like that went a little bit too much, but that was like my only thing where I was just
funny,
like,
dude. Like he needed snacks. He had to munch before he's like, I was like, how is he gonna do? Like they had me, bro. They fucking had me. I sound like a sucker,
early.
but they fucking had me.
They had you that early.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this is funny.
That was the main time where I was just like, okay, like, all right, let's get this fucking going. Other than that, it was great. I did like the story arc. I like the way that they ran with that. No pun intended. And some of the cameos that were removed were Henry Cavill, Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam, the Grant Gustin's The Flash, Linda Carter's Wonder Woman, Marlon Brando as Jor-El, Burgess Meredith's Penguin, and Cesar Romero as Joker. And we already heard that they were hounding Christian Bale to return as Batman, and he just flat out refused it. But we knew that because he said he would only return if Chris Nolan came up to him and told him that he had more story to tell with that. That's the only way he would even consider it. Right. So, but I thought it was good. It was a great time. I'm a fan of the George Clooney, replacing Ben Affleck at the end. Like that was the change.
It was funny. It was, it was quirky. Like I don't expect anything
funny
to come
and quirky.
From it. It was a good, gotcha.
Yeah, it is. But moving forward, whenever they're referencing an older Batman or something, it's not Michael Keaton. It's going to be George Clooney now.
Maybe if they even. This is like Outer Worlds type.
Possibly, but that's why the Batgirl was canceled, because that continued the story arc for Michael Keaton, and they said that was something that was changed. That was supposed to be Michael Keaton at the end. That popped up in the car instead of Ben Affleck, because we knew that this was Ben Affleck's last time as Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. So, and that was going to change. So that was supposed to be Michael Keaton. Now they're moving forward with George Clooney, that
doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't. No. Why would they?
If it would have been Michael Keaton, then he's just back in the same universe. Like
I'm just saying that was the original thought of no, because he altered he altered it slightly. when he
but not enough.
with all
So
of
like
that.
it never
Keaton.
actually changed. It was still Keaton.
Well,
and-
I think the conversation that he had with his mom and all that shit, like that altered something a little bit. Like there's always like the smallest thing that you would.
I agree. I just don't think that it would have. I agree that sure you can plug it in, but it wouldn't have made. Like it
You're not
totally
building
made
off of
sense
that.
for it to be someone completely different, not Ben Affleck or Michael Keaton.
I think we're still getting
and the whole thing with Batgirl. I feel like could have just been in that universe that he landed in when he went back in time.
could be.
yeah.
But
Could be.
either way, I don't.
We don't know, yeah, because that
None of
is-
it matters
isn't moving
since
forward.
none of this story is moving forward. That's kind of how I took it when George Clooney showed up. I was like, that's cool. I don't give a fuck because none of this shit matters anymore.
Right.
I don't know if it I don't know if it doesn't matter, and that's
I don't think it matters. This
that's the
movie was
question
made
moving
so
forward.
fucking long ago. I don't and the whole thing that we've been talking about for a while, that James Gunn came in and like changed shit up to fit his forever story arc. What the fuck did he change? I don't know that anything changed.
So here's my question then. The one thing that we know that he changed was Bruce Wayne was removed from the end. Why even go through the trouble of removing him if George Clooney is no longer going to show up randomly in,
How
as
do
an
we
older
know that-
Batman or whatnot?
What do you mean? We know what?
We know that was something that was changed. It was after James Gunn came in. He's the one who
Requested that it be Clooney at the end?
that it not be Michael Keaton as Batman at the end. Because if it doesn't, unless it was just for the George Clooney, we got to fit him in here.
That's what it seemed like. Like, hey, let's give him
It just
his
seemed to me like it
cameo,
was just
too.
like a joke. Like
Yeah,
it was
like,
like
haha.
another way to make this whole thing seem silly and inconsequential.
Like, he didn't get it back to perfect. It's still a little
Right.
weird, but now we're going to
kinda
move
like,
on to other shit. I don't feel like anything with this. This was supposed to reset
I don't
the
think so.
DCU, right?
That's
I
what
thought
they
were
said that it
suppo-
is.
Right, and I don't feel like it did that at
I
all.
don't feel like it
I feel like
reset
they're
at
not
all.
going to
Yeah.
reference anything that we've seen in this movie. Like,
It's possible.
maybe some tiny little things, but nothing, no big arcs are going to come from this. This is just like, hey, this was a good movie. Let's get it out there. It's okay. George Clooney at the end. Ha, ha, ha. Let's get on with James Gunn's DCU.
I don't know. There's a possibility that George Clooney's Batman is the one that trains the young Robin because he's in,
There is definitely a possibility, and I would welcome that possibility.
But then it
just
wouldn't
don't
go
see
past
it.
that.
I don't know that,
I don't see him
studios
coming in
spending
for a
money,
bunch of
on
movies.
another Clooney,
especially
Batman.
because this Batman Damian Wayne movie's like 5 years away from now.
Sure.
So maybe
Clooney
filming
will
in
be
3 to
like
4
7.
years. I don't know that Clooney's gonna want to fucking do that. Like commit to something that's not gonna even start for 4 years.
What do you think? Because of how everyone's thoughts are on Ezra Miller and moving forward, and my thought with Ezra Miller is like, yeah, they went crazy for a little while. They did all these things and pretty much just got a slap on the wrist, right? And it was all just to pretty much try to save this movie, and their efforts. It all fell flat in their face because it's pretty much bombing. But I think there's going to be a resurgence once it hits on demand. But who knows how they would count that? Now my question is the director Andy. How do you pronounce it, Dave?
Machete, yeah.
Okay, so Andy Muschietti came out and my thought was, okay, so we're gonna get this movie with Ezra. Somehow there was a lot of speculation that Ezra by the end of this is possibly not even going to continue as Barry Allen. Mm-hmm. And then Andy Muschietti came out and said, yeah, if there's a sequel, I can't see it being done without Ezra.
Either two things. Either he knows there's not going to be a sequel and it's not going to come to that and it seems like he's getting Ezra's back, or if Ezra can keep their nose clean, so to speak, and fly under the radar and there comes a point in the DCU where they do need a Flash, maybe they can go back to Ezra and say, hey, can you do, we know you kicked ass. This was funny. There could be a place for Ezra, I think, in the DCU.
Or he's not involved in whatever the next Flash is.
Exactly. And
They
that
could
was
totally
Machete
use a
saying,
different
if
director.
there is another one, we'll have him. I don't
can't
think
see
there will be
anyone
another
else
one.
being the Flash besides Ezra. Oh, I don't give a fuck what you see because I have a totally different vision because my name is James Gunn and the Flash is going to be 35 years older in my new universe or whatever.
Oh, he gets the Henry Cavill treatment.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. I mean,
there's so
that's,
many
that's
different
the
ways
business, right?
That's how I took it. Like this whole movie, like it was cool, but the whole concept of it resetting the DCU, I didn't catch that vibe.
No.
If anything, all I saw this, as Wak had stated last week, is an ending to the Zack Snyder version
Inspired
of the
movies,
DCEU.
Maybe
Like,
that
this
is
was
the
just
reset.
Even though we got a fucking another Aquaman coming out and who knows, probably another Wonder Woman maybe.
I don't think another Wonder Woman.
I don't know. Probably not because 84 was so bad, but
Yeah.
but maybe because Gal Gadot is
It's
still
just so smoking
a
hot. that,
popular
like, oh.
Wonder Woman. Like no one
such a
says
popular
we want to
Wonder
replace her.
Uh-huh. That's
Sure.
it.
Yeah. I mean, she's smoking hot
She's
is
so
what makes
smoking
her
hot.
a
When she
dope
showed
Wonder
up
Woman.
in the Flash, bro, like I was shook. Like for a second, I was like, "Oh my god!" She was just such a smoke show, and both her and both Barry and fucking Bruce were shook when she showed up. They were like, "Oh my god!" Like, "Oh my god, she's so hot."
Here's
I
the
don't know
thing,
what to
though.
do.
It's like I get all of that, but also they're continuing. And there's nothing wrong with Andy Muschietti, and there's no reason why they wouldn't continue the relationship with Andy Muschietti. But
Sure.
I think there's still more that he is going
Isn't
to be
he
doing
doing
with
a
DC.
whole different movie?
He's doing the Batman. movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Exactly.
yeah.
So why would
Yeah.
he work on the Batman and the Flash? I think the Flash is over. Honestly.
Okay. All right.
At
Well,
least for now.
hopefully that's the case because that was the thing. That was my whole takeaway from it. Like all of this came out, like all of this was made well before Ezra committed those crimes and did all of the crazy shit that they did or whatever. So I mean, this movie, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna support the filmmakers that had nothing to do with any of that, right? The cast and crew, like everything else that had to do with it that had nothing to do with
the art
Ezra's.
from the artist.
Separate the art from the artist. But moving forward, it's like I just don't want to see them as the Flash anymore, and that should be the decision. They fucked all kind of things up, and they're a liability now. So, possibly they were a liability before, but
Yeah.
so now
I don't care as strongly. I'm fine if Ezra Miller remains the Flash. Is whatever if
Yeah.
he makes
Honestly,
his
I want him
atonements
to.
and whatnot.
I will.
I
will
don't feel
champion,
as strongly
I think.
as you do about how well he portrayed the character. I do agree that
Mm-hmm.
he did great acting. Playing against himself. That's definitely not easy. There was a lot of parts of the movie that I was like, okay, he's doing a good acting role here, even when he was like in the chair and getting, slammed with the electricity. I thought he handled that very well as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think his quirky jokes landed as well as you felt they did. Like,
I'm just a
literally in my
corny. I'm
theater,
just a corny.
I
white
was
dude.
the
I don't-
only one that laughed, and I only laughed one time. But the whole theater was silent
Yeah.
during the entire movie. There
So
was
was
no
mine.
one laughed
So
out
was mine.
loud.
No, I was the only. Me and Ashley were the only one
I
audibly.
feel like in MCU movies, people laugh out loud.
People show up to MCU movies. I had 7 people in my theater to watch The
That
Flash,
too.
bro. So like
That
there
too.
wasn't
I
it wasn't
think-
like an Endgame type packed theater I was sitting
Agreed.
in, bro.
And yeah, it could just be, one person laughs and makes everyone else laugh type thing, crowd effect. But it definitely, like, the scene that Wak mentioned earlier where they were like, that very early scene where he was slow motion, like trying to save all the babies and stuff.
Yeah.
That I personally felt like it went way too long. I was just like, all right, bro, we fucking get it. The CGI I thought was kind of shitty. And I get that, Andy Muschietti tries to say that like when he's in the Speed Force, things look weird to him or whatever. But it just looked to me like, I don't know, like Iron Man 1 level fucking CGI. Like the facial reconstruction of those babies just looked cartoonish.
Yeah.
And not very realistic.
But even with that being said, it didn't take me out of the movie, so I didn't care as much.
It did. For me, it did. It absolutely took me out of the movie. I was just like, I was analyzing the CGI, how whack it was.
You are ridiculously analytical, though. So let's throw that in there. Let's throw that in there.
But that just shows how much that it.
Sure.
I can be that analytical on other movies and not be taken out of the of the film. And
That's
this
fair.
one it did. The other thing too is again, analytical mind. During that scene, it made me think. I thought the Flash was supposed to be the fastest meta-human, whatever they want to call it in the DC world, superhuman, superverse, whatever.
Sure.
In a film depiction, not the same universes, but in the film depiction, the way that Quicksilver was depicted in the X-Men movie when he had his stop motion scene.
The Jim Croce song?
He was so fast, almost nothing was moving. He was causing motion because he was so fast. And he was, and this made me feel like, y'all just really made the Flash slower than Quicksilver.
He saved babies that were falling out of a fucking building, dog,
But
in
they
real
were
time. How
moving
much
at
faster
a
does he need to
speed.
be?
He was like just a bit faster than
He needed
them.
energy. He needed food, son. He was hungry as a motherfucker.
Hold on.
And then he got it.
Easiest
And
question.
then he crushed it.
Easiest question.
Man, it was all right.
To your
He
response.
barely caught them, and like by the time he got to the bottom, the babies were also
Everybody
falling.
was
Hold
The
on.
rate of speed of their fall just made me feel like he's not as fast as some of the fastest people that we've seen in both MCU,
I think we're getting
in Sony
super
and
analytical.
Marvel, and in the DC. I feel like even Superman was faster than the Flash.
I mean, he saw
Hold
the
on
Flash.
here. Hold on here. Let me get a word in for once on this. So I gotta talk shit. So did Quicksilver run so fast that he traveled through time?
Oh, got you, son.
I don't know that he got a chance to.
Never even thought of
wasn't
it.
part of the story.
I mean, but from what we've gotten, did he run that fast?
No.
So maybe the Flash, right? When he was
holding
doing
himself
this,
back.
not that he was holding himself back, but he was used to going through a certain speed. And then once determined, he got to a point where he went so fast that he can travel through time. So like,
That's a good argument. I'll take that. That's a good argument.
Okay, so then the second that
But
we
that's
saw
not what
on
was
film,
presented to me. Is all I'm saying. I was presented with a Flash where shit was moving as he was moving.
and then you were
Quicksilver was
presented with
literally
a
walking
Flash
through
that
time.
said, "I am going to run so fast that I can alter time."
That's pretty fast.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking fast. And Quicksilver did not do that. Quicksilver couldn't even run fucking bullets in the MCU.
But Flash had to like
Quicksilver
work
got
his
shot,
way
son.
up to that
Facts.
super fast speed to run through time. Quicksilver didn't even try. He just started like, oh, I guess it's time to go through the fast thing. I'm just gonna do it.
I'm just gonna do it. Whatever, dude.
yeah,
Whatever, dude.
Which now that we're talking about it and we're being super fucking analytical, right?
I mean, yeah, Johnny went in on Barry.
So really, if we're really talking about it, why the fuck is he putting on headphones if he's gonna be traveling so fast that he can't even fucking
You can't even hear the music, right?
Yeah, no, nothing.
So let's.
Very fair. Very fair.
I know. Okay, so
And that's it, ladies and
and
gentlemen.
this is where
Have
we
a great
don't
week.
ask these fucking questions.
Analytical in this bitch. That's right. You tell him, Walk. You tell him what's up.
Word. Physics does not fuck with your
There's not
statement.
he heard he has it playing so fucking fast that he heard the song.
That's exactly
like
what
Time
was
in,
happening.
it was time in a bottle, right?
Yep, time in a bottle. Oh man, do we have anything else to add to this?
Okay, so
Well, we do have more apparently. Yes.
wait a minute.
Yes,
So
yes,
Barry
yes, please.
can vibrate shift not only himself but the people he's holding.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how fast he is, dog. Quicksilver do that
Bruh.
shit.
I can believe that the Flash can manipulate his own molecules to go through
But you draw the line at someone
a
else's
physical
molecules.
object. It's a huge stretch
So
to
it's-
get there. But
hold on.
if he can do that thing already, he can manipulate his own molecules super fast. Okay.
Why couldn't he do someone else's though? If
How does he do it to his clothes? And how does he do it to someone else? Those are,
Very
this is where
quickly.
the stretch of the imagination comes in.
Technically, he did only do that to his own molecules.
You remember when Barry thought he was running super fast? He was doing his
I see.
flash
Yeah.
run.
He's like,
Again.
Why,
Bro,
am I
was
running like this?
That was the funniest
Oh, the
shit.
slow- the
Like,
slow version of it?
Yes, I
Yeah.
laughed
Yeah, that was good.
audibly, and it was literally only me. Like I said, there was not a
Yeah.
lot of people in my theater. I was laughing very hard when
I
he
laughed
did, 'cause
internally
You
on
could
that
hear
one.
the feet on the floor, like he was in a gym. Like it just reminded me of like being in school as a kid. Like it was so.
That was
so
one of
funny.
the arguments that people had from him or about him since the beginning. Is just like, why is he running like that?
Well, that's the way the Flash runs.
Or it's just like,
He's just, he just thought. I don't know. I
Look
mean,
at
it
it.
had
I'm
to
the
have
Flash
felt
now.
the
I
same.
I feel like even
yeah.
in the cartoon, that's how he does it.
It's very effeminate.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
a very
That's true.
effeminate run that he has. Yeah.
we're talking about Ezra Miller. But anyway,
Oh, that's where you want to end the show.
They did a great job in that.
they did a great job. They did a great job.
I think they did, and
They would be welcome
And I've
back to
always
IMO.
liked their acting. Like I like their character in Fantastic Beasts. I think they're good actors.
I'll be honest with you. If they came out with the Flash Part 2 and
I'm sure
Ezra
I'll
Miller
watch
was
it.
the
I'm
Flash again, and I'm still gonna watch it.
I'll watch it and I'll talk shit because
Word.
that's what we do.
That's what
Yeah.
we do, baby.
That's what we do. I am also a part of the crew that's trying to separate the art from the artist, unless like something extremely egregious
Blatant.
has been.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
gotta be.
Like. Yeah.
I mean, that R. Kelly playlist is still on Apple Music.
Yeah. But I don't listen to.
I don't fuck with it.
Yeah. I don't listen to it.
It might have played once or twice at the
Johnny
lake
bumped
house.
that shit at the lake house on the reg.
I don't know that I was the one that pressed play, but someone did.
I heard somebody.
You
I heard
jammed to
somebody
it. You
say.
were feeling it.
I heard somebody say. I think it was. It might have been Joe Budden on the
Step in
podcast.
the name of love. Step in the name of love.
It might have been Joe Budden on the podcast, on his podcast, that he said he was like, I'll listen to it, like Step in the Name of Love, like those things, but any songs that have to do with sex just doesn't feel right with me. So because now it takes a different connotation, so I just don't listen to those.
All right.
But like, I Believe I Can Fly and all that shit, like those could rock.
I still fuck with Space Jam.
Facts. But the song is on there, so you can't watch
The
the whole
song
movie.
or the movie?
Nah, both of them.
Both of them. Guys, do we have anything else to add to this stellar conversation?
Just sterlingness.
Sterling
Sterlingness?
conversation. Nah,
Y'all
it's
fucking
pretty
with anything?
sterling.
Y'all fucking with anything new besides the bear?
The bear.
Oh, yeah,
Bear
no, The
hardcore.
Bear. Season 2, intense.
Episode 6 is crazy.
The whole shit is just insane. But yeah, episode 6 was probably, I think I read that it has a 9.8 on IMDb, one of the highest rated
Nice.
episodes of all time for
And it's
any
an
show.
hour long.
And it
with-
felt like
with
it was a 7-hour episode, bro. Like
for
I wanted to stop watching The Bear after that episode and just take a break. And my girl was like, "No, we got to watch another one." I was like, "All right." I get like I
Cleanse the
just had
palate.
PTSD, bro. Like it was such a wild ride.
Yeah.
That is my next episode to
Oh,
watch. So
Oh,
enjoy,
enjoy,
set aside
bro.
some time. Yeah.
I might, maybe depend how quickly we wrap this up. I might get to it tonight. We'll
All right.
see.
Have a good night,
'Cause that is
guys. We'll talk to you
definitely,
tomorrow.
Wifey wifey show.
Nah, she'll fuck
Yeah,
with
no, it's definitely that episode is crazy. It's an hour long where normally it's half an hour episodes.
Yep.
So
And you feel that
When it-
extra half hour.
oh my God, bro.
Oh,
It's crazy.
fucking Silo. We talked about it before. Silo has only gotten better and better. Season
finale is this Thursday.
Week.
Yep.
Apple fucking posted the entire first episode on Twitter.
They did.
I think anyone's ever done that.
Not anything official. Like, you always have Twitter accounts tweeting out
like
random
leaks and
videos.
shit.
Yeah, but
the entire Flash posted on Twitter.
Hulu doesn't post it like the Handmaid's Tale episodes or anything like that. Like,
No.
yeah, that's different.
That's definitely a big part of that whole Apple Twitter advertising deal thing that they worked out.
Yeah, and real quick, Secret Invasion.
Oh yeah,
first episode.
We didn't even talk about that.
Nah, first episode.
It's only one episode, so we could talk.
It's only one episode,
Yeah.
and honestly, it wasn't a bad episode. It wasn't like a totally
happened.
blew my mind episode. Not a ton happened. It's just a lot of foreshadowing and just like what's going on. So very much spy related, like spy who, that kind of thing. So trying to figure things out. So I personally just feel, just to throw that out there, because we don't have like another half an hour to just keep breaking these things down. But I just feel like they should have released at least 2 episodes, maybe 3, just to get us hooked in. I mean, we're going to watch every episode, but
it's only 6, right?
It's only 6, yeah. That's why they opted out of that. So this should progress rather quickly. The first episode, though, just like it just wasn't crazy. It wasn't anything.
It had some impactful moments.
It did. Yeah. I'm looking
I did
forward
not expect
to
Maria Hill to get murked.
Facts. Was it even her?
It
was. Yes.
Turned into a change. Her blood was spilled.
That's true.
Regular blood.
That's true. She's dead.
She's dead. She's out. Kobe Smulders out of the MCU. The Agent Ross, I didn't expect him to
be a Skrull.
Be a Skrull, and I don't know that that's really been answered. Has it always been Agent Ross a Skrull, or was that just a Skrull that was impersonating him? I don't know. I hope to find out more as we progress.
Sure. All right.
Good show.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's episode because we're recording this on a Tuesday. It drops on Wednesday. So if you're not up to date on that, tune into the Bear for sure.
Absolutely.
That's just an
all episodes
awesome,
are out
awesome
of the
show.
Bear.
Yes. And I plan on catching up on Black Mirror. I saw 3/4 of the first episode, and I don't have time enough to myself, and that's a me show. So I plan to continue watching that. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for listening to the episode. If you've made it this far, that means you fuck with us, so we fuck with you. Remember to rate, review, subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. And let us know how much you liked the episode, how much you didn't like the episode, whatever. All of it helps us. And we like to know what we can improve on, or just overall, like if you really enjoy what we do. So a few of you do reach out, and we always appreciate it. And that means more to us than you would ever know. Also, if you want to cop some merch, we're going to be dropping some new stuff soon. We're going to be releasing a new website soon for our merch, and just go to insensitivemerch.com and stay tuned to our socials, right? Insensitive Culture on all socials, and just stay up to date on that so you see when things drop. But other than that, guys, peace.